Hello and welcome to Down by the Gram on Cam with me, the Grandmaster Kush, here talking about all things Amsterdam, coffee shops and everything in the cannabis community. Joining me as always, I have my co-host, the Vida Fairy. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, excited for this week.
You took some time out from organising your fairy house. You've been busy all week, so it's good to sit down for a minute.
Yeah, I'll
Flat
take
out.
the chill.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And our other guest this week, I have Dara from Devilharvest and I have Anton from Pura Life CBD. Is that right?
Puravida.
Puravida. Sorry, you said life earlier.
Yeah,
Puravida CBD. How's it going, guys? You
Good, man. Yeah, very good.
Welcome to the show. Thank you very much.
Nice one. Glad to be here.
Before we get started, a word from our sponsors. So, 21 by 20, life summed up. It's the latest in high-end fashion brands, so you can choose between a beanie or a snapback.
I'm a snapback guy, bro.
Yeah.
Love my hats.
Snapback?
Yeah.
No worries. I have a few slaps there for you as well.
Sweet.
So yeah, they're not for general sale, they're only for to be gifted to the high society, the smoking elite, so yeah.
Sounds good.
Right, so welcome to the show, guys. How's it going?
Very good, man. How are you all doing?
Yeah, all good. Ready to get high and talk some shit?
Yeah, excited about this. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
So, what have you brought along for us today?
Well, I'm Dara from Devilharvest Seeds. Was my original company, but I've rebranded myself as Devilharvest Original.
Okay, yeah.
And I've been in the background for a little while, but if you know anything about Devilharvest Seeds, I'm best known for Rolex OG, Shoreline. I did OG Rican, Strawberry Sour Diesel, and a few others. I've done a Gucci strain, I did other strains. I've worked with like all the big companies around here.
Nice.
I came up with a strain called Cheezel that I gave to Big Bullet Seeds, and that was one of my first crosses before I was doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Can I ask what you crossed with?
New York City Diesel and cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just I went off with like a light bulb. What will I call it? Cheese and diesel. And I thought Cheezel.
Cheezel,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Keep
yeah,
it
yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say that's banging.
Yeah, you know what was in the bag once you got that. But that's when I first showed up here. New York Diesel was the thing, and then cheese came into the scene, and that took over town.
Yeah.
So there was a big storm at that stage, and I was still not known. I was working at the Hash Marijuana Museum, Cincy Seed.
Okay, yeah.
And I had the best time working up there. I was also in the Cannabis College, and it was like the highlight of my life working up there. That place was brilliant. And from there, I just realised I was doing the curating of the garden over there, and I wanted to get more and more into the seed business. So I started making my own things.
Nice, doing your own grows. And
Yeah, I was staying in the background mostly, but then I started like getting more elevated here, and I was working with a few of the shops around town.
Yeah.
And it started to take off a bit, but then I got gathered at a 420 session.
Okay.
And we met this crew of the IC Mag. I'm not sure if you know of that format. That was a big community online many years ago for all the growers and breeders. That's where they all met up. They have their own competition, the IC Mag competition, International Canagraph, I think it was called.
Okay.
So all that community people I met at the time, I met this crew, Ja Hoover, who was Lady Sativa Genetics. I met Karmer Genetics. I met this guy Logic. I met all these guys with weird nicknames, and I was just Dara.
Yeah.
So then I realised after a while I had to kind of come up with my own
you have to have
name.
your own little alias in this world.
Yeah, so I couldn't think of it for ages, and I was working at Cincy Seed, and they have this place on the Nieuwendyk, a small little shop, and they put me in there on a Thursday because no one would go in there. Really quiet place, so it was just a place where I could smoke weed all day.
Nice.
And now and again people would come in and just chat to them. It was more a promotion spot. So while I'm there, I have this big poster on the wall of Devilharvest from the Reefer Madness campaign.
Okay.
So it just struck at me like, what will I call myself? And we're from Ireland, and I was always told I do the devil's work.
So
it just so it just hit on me that I call myself Devilharvest, and my name's a difficult name.
Dara.
So when I meet people, they just couldn't remember that. But when I say I'm Devilharvest, that just struck with everyone. You know?
I know most people through their Instagram names here. You know what I mean? You don't know their first name, just call them by their Instagram name.
Yeah, but I hate that as well.
But it's easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's too many new people. Everyone's stoned. You know
It's
what I
hard to
mean?
keep up. Yeah, so it's one of those things of progressing here, and then eventually I started doing my own strains and went out for doing my own seed company, and I worked with a few of the major shops around here. And one of the first places was this area that really worked well for me.
Yeah.
Small little place that was open a unique amount of hours a day, so it allowed the product to stay there longer and for people to see it.
Okay, nice.
So Do you know, I was coming with things like, I don't know if you heard of a strain called Casey Jones. Did you ever hear of this strain?
Yeah. That's yours?
No, that's not mine. Originally, I got that off a guy. His name is True Canna, and he's a really cool guy. He's like well known in the industry. He's very popular down in Spain.
Okay.
So these guys came over here. Like I say, I met them all at IC Mag. They had a gathering of their cup, and we're all smoking cheese. And cheese was the big thing at the day, and we're all smoking cheese. Next thing, this guy standing next to me hands me a joint to take a token, like, what the fuck is that? And he said, that's Casey Jones. And it just like ding in my head, like, that's a brilliant name.
Yeah.
So then I begged the guy for this clone. Begged and begged and begged. And I gave him all the library of genetics that I had from Amsterdam, the Chocolate, LA Confidential, all the things from DNA Genetics at that time. They were the major players. And he traded me back. And then I got this Casey Jones cut and I started working with that.
Yeah.
And if you ask any of the growers in Amsterdam or outside of it, what was the biggest yielding strain they had, it was Casey Jones.
Oh, yeah, I remember it was everywhere for a while.
Yeah. We kind of did too much. We realised it was like, okay, maybe we should slow down.
The market, like,
yeah. So it was one of those ones that performed well, but we keep these genetics around for years and years and years. Once I get a clone, I make it into a mother plant and I reclone and keep them going. But lately, we've got this epidemic going on with a hops virus, or known as a tobacco virus.
Okay.
And it's infecting a lot of the genetics, and we're losing really good genetics because of it. So it's
and this is in indoor as well as outdoor?
It's
like
everywhere.
everything?
Yeah, it's coming from the States, and we've seen it come through genetics that have been sent over. But you don't know you have a problem till you're probably week 5, 6 into flower, and your whole crop will die. And there's no way of getting out of it, but we have to do a thing called cell tissue culture. You guys don't know what that is?
No, definitely not.
So basically, we take a segment of the plant and we break it down to its genetics, its basic format, and we regrow it in pantry dishes, and we create a new clone that resets all of the traits that were bad in that genetic. So if it's got anything that it would inherit, we'd take it back to the start, and then we grow it out
Actually,
again.
to petri dish level.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff, you know.
I didn't I knew there was a lot of science and research going into it. I didn't think, like, when people are like, oh, we're crossing genetics, I don't like put two
You don't think them in a lab with microscopes and shit?
Oh, they're going way beyond it now.
Well done.
And now that they can legalise it, I say it's shooting forward
Once
even
it's not
more.
going too weird. Like,
No.
can that mess up the plant a lot?
No, this is something that's necessary right now. With anyone that is on a higher level of growing, they know that this is necessary to know that when you bring a genetic into your grow room, that it's not carrying this virus. So that's one benefit of it. And as well, it's like, sometimes you'll have a genetic and it'll have a problem like mildew. Mildew is a problem, and certain strains can be very like weak towards it. So if you take this technique and you reset the strain, you eradicate that problem and you get to start all over again. So
my brain's going on a mad. But you know, if like you take something out of there's like a little side effect somewhere else.
Well, these are plants.
Are we like losing cannabinoids or anything like that?
That's a good question. Now,
that's where my brain's going.
Well, in America, the laboratories are dialed in. Since they legalized in the States years ago, they've blown up with the technology.
Top botanists and all
that. And I got invited over there for it when they first legalized in Colorado, and they had their first cannabis cup. I was over there. My first cannabis cup was in San Francisco. I was a judge at it.
Oh, nice.
It was crazy.
I'd say so.
Then I met this guy.
From our little island.
Well
done, man. Well
so
done.
it was mad to go out there, but then I had they gave me one of these dab rigs. It's the first time I ever seen one. It was called a Borch. Do you ever hear what that is?
No.
It's a half bong, half torch.
I thought it was some sort of torch hybrid there.
No, they're forbidden because it's basically a gas lantern. And the guy at the time, his name was Dougie. He's still around. He does Hitman Glass in America.
Okay.
And he's a big brand out there, and he's held his own competitions. I judged his one as well. But he gave me this thing and said, here, man, try this dabbing thing. And he gave me this thing. It had marbles in it and looked very fancy. And after a few days of me holding like a can of beer, I was going around the place and just holding it. I was like, I'd pay $500 for this thing. And I saw the guy, like, how much is this thing? So that, I said, I said, that's $18,000.
Jesus Christ.
I just put it down the table, like, man.
Your comfort level
you'd be walking around with it.
Freaked out.
Did you see this?
Them dab rigs scare me, you know what I mean? There's fucking thousands on the table. You know what I mean?
It's a scary thing.
Bump. Like any session when you hear even a glass, like cola bottle fall over,
like,
my heart dies. And
it's not even your rig or anything, you know what I mean?
I own tobacco, like, the worst that'll happen.
But it's that culture developed so quickly in America. With that was one thing, and I learned about making extract and stuff from over there. But then I got to go to Colorado, and I saw the first legal grow room out there. It's called River Rock, Well, sorry, it was the first one I saw. They were all
Yeah.
growing weed there.
Oh, yeah.
And this place was incredible. Antoine, he
Yeah.
came over there with me,
Yeah.
and it just blows you away to walk into a room that they've got all the plants tagged. Everything is done in the proper way.
Yeah, you're
Do
not
you know,
hiding it.
you're
It's
seeing the
such
future.
a game changer,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? Like here, you're growing illegally.
Yeah.
Maybe having to shut down every grow. There, they're just cloning. They're keeping just the
Black.
It's a
change.
monster.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a game
yeah.
changer. Like you know what I
Yes.
mean?
So it's good to see how it started when it legalized there. Nothing went wrong, and
Yeah.
everything's been going right. And the breeding that's going on there, that's turned everything now on another level because they've got such big grow facilities. They keep crossing genetics with other genetics, and there's a new strain coming out every weekend.
Yeah, that's it.
So original way of breeding, we would take like, you know, do you know the difference of breeding? Like there's feminized and regular seeds.
I
Do you know
know.
what
I've
they
heard
are?
of feminized. They're
Yeah.
just easier to grow. That's
Yeah, well, it's something that like I make feminized seeds, but I don't like it because you're
Okay.
taking a female plant and you spray it with silver solution and you misdirect the hormones and you force it to become a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it'll leave out these male pollen sacs, which will release this dust into the air. And then you'll take a room of female plants of the same genetic and you allow them to receive it. This is called S1 of a breed of a plant. And then you
Okay.
create feminized seeds out of those female plants.
Yeah.
And they're 99% female, but they
Yeah.
still had a hermaphrodite used in the process, and you can always have that. With female seeds, they seem to be very easy to trigger a hermaphrodite
Okay,
problem.
they can change very
Yeah,
easy. Like
yeah. The purpose of them is like for someone a small grower growing 5 to 10 plants, but if you go
Okay.
beyond that, you're taking major risk on the
Yeah.
crop. Then
So
Yeah,
you're better off
to
just
be
using
safe
normal
with it.
seeds and picking the males out. And
this is the process that people get lazy about. You want to take regular seeds, which is a male plant,
Yeah.
and you cross that with a female, and then you grow out a selection of 10 different plants, and we call this genotype what the plant is.
Yeah.
But then we call an expression of the plant, like its personality, that's a phenotype.
Okay.
So do you know the way you got the funny guy in the room?
Yeah.
The way I look for a selection of weed is I want to find that funny guy, and the rest don't matter. And once I find that one, I make it into a mother plant. Keep that thing going, and that's the genetic that you'll see. Amnesia haze is a great example. You'll see the same consistency all the time with amnesia.
Yeah.
It's got that same flavor, the same tone, and that's because of the phenotype.
everything.
Yeah, and it's a very strong genetic, whereas other ones, the high-end stuff, that's very hard to grow. So it demands more of your attention, more of your
Okay.
time. But amnesia haze is like the king of plants
that's
out
why
here.
there's haze everywhere.
It's, a lot,
It's so
like,
easy.
It's
even
easy.
messier of a bud as well.
It's which?
It's like even a messier kind of a bud
Yeah.
compared to the like high-end Cali stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're more
There's a lot
compact and more dense.
Yeah, the dense, and that brings other problems that you might end up with what we call bud rot because it chokes out the bud and that can
Okay,
destroy
it's
harvest.
choking itself like it's
Yeah.
so tight. It's
Yeah,
just-
so you have to
can't
figure out
breathe.
how to feed different plants and know that not everything is amnesia. So if you only grow amnesia,
Yeah.
you try and grow a different genetic, you're going to
not
fail.
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
You
the
need
way
to
you treat it.
adapt to this
Yeah.
genetic and change the way they need it.
Yeah, it's just a little adapt to your growing, what your cycle is, and as well, there's many ways of growing, whether it's through soil, hydroponics, and you know, it's all to what you're favoured with. But most of the growers, we all agree that soil is the best way of growing. It's easy, forgiving, and it gives a nicer flavour to the burn of the smoke afterwards. You know, so
You
it's-
can get it though. You know what I mean? You don't. It's like with your vegetables.
yeah.
Where that's grown, you can taste the difference. And
Yeah.
same with your weed.
Well, there's the thing as well. Most of the time, I don't go to many more coffee shops because I don't like smoking the herb there. I don't know what's in it, how did they do it, how did they cure
Yeah.
it. Whereas once you get your own head stash, you really don't want to go any further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like with my friend here, all he smokes is Rolex, like for maybe what 10 years.
Yeah, a little bit less.
Is
but
it? Yeah.
It's been like now a few years, yeah.
Yeah.
And what the only strain you smoke is Rolex?
Yeah, that's the only one I grow and smoke, yeah.
Yeah.
So you only smoke your own Rolex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
get bored of it, like,
Yeah,
it's,
No, but it's a lovely stone.
No, but-
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I fangirled over. I used to clear Green Place.
Oh,
They stocked it for a while, man. I cleared that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
lovely
that
down
was,
there. Yeah.
Stone.
that was probably from him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Once he was like, you know, Rolex, I was like, I fucking do.
Yeah.
And, oh,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, no,
lovely,
it's-
heavy smoke off. You know what I mean?
It's
You-
very sweet and you can
Yeah.
smoke it in the morning till night.
Yeah.
You don't
And
get
you
too
still-
tired. I'm a bit tired now, I'm sorry. but you don't get too tired of it. And,
Yeah.
it's a nice high.
Yeah.
and you can still function, and the taste is.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
You don't get bored of the taste because
No.
most of the weed after like a
Well, I
few
don't know. I
weeks of
think
smoking,
all strains I get
get
bored
bored
of.
of
You
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
variety. When if I do go to coffee shop, I'm buying 2 grams of this, 2 grams of that, 2 grams of that. You know what I mean? Or I can't just have the same thing. I'm like, why would I restrict myself? Back in Ireland, when you ordered weed, you just said, "Do you have weed?" There's weed. There was no names. It was
No
just,
choice.
This
There's
is
a
the bag of
plastic
weed
bag.
I've
Yeah.
got. Smoke that, and it was usually just haze most of the time. Shit haze. So
Bit of
now
cheese.
I'm in a world where I constantly have choice. I just feel wrong to smoke the same thing all
Well,
day.
you're like a
you
kid
know?
in candy store.
This is it, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm here over 6 years, and I've been coming here fucking nearly 20 years, but I still want to smoke every strain, taste everything, you know what I mean? Like, I don't smoke sativas, it's usually just indicas or indica hybrids, but if I find good ones of them, I want variation, a couple of choices.
But
you
we've
know
had
what I mean?
stages here as well. When I first landed here, it was all about the haze. So
Yeah.
the Damp Brink Original, that was my go-to place.
Okay.
And I used to get the Hawaiian haze there. It was sick. And I met the grower one time. He told me he would flower for 18 weeks, which is not normal in
I've
growing.
never actually heard that.
It takes a
Yeah.
long
Why,
time.
what's it
Yeah.
normal?
Normal is
Like
about
12.
8 to 10 weeks.
8 to 10 weeks?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so that's
it's nearly
typical.
double.
Yeah, but then the benefits of that, you say that sounds a bit, oh, that's a long time, but you get double the yield.
Okay.
So you get a big return. But you're taking a major risk because the guy could only do 2 harvests a year.
Okay.
So all he's like, how would I say, expenses all relied on making his harvest.
Yeah.
So he did quite well, but like a lot of things, Amsterdam seems to push people out after a while.
Yeah.
So all these original growers, they've all moved on. They've either gone away and retired, or they're
Yeah.
down in Spain.
Let's say a lot of people have gone to Spain. now,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this place is clamping down, Spain's opening up, you know what I mean? Why not make the move?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's getting disappointing here that like they're going against it so much. and
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
horrible,
yeah.
man. It's just like compared to what it was 20 years ago, 10
It's
years ago,
wild.
5 years
Yeah.
ago, even.
Yeah.
Every time it's just getting
worse and worse.
Yeah, the
More
shops
rules.
closing down. Like I've heard about 2 or 3 shops that just closed and just didn't bother giving their license back. They're just
Yeah.
gone. I think Feels Good, they're gone.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Somebody told me
I'd
the
say
one we were
so.
only talking about last week, Flower,
Flower power?
yeah, the one Spliffs was in for his first
Yeah.
time. Supposedly that's just a cafe now. It's
They're
just
just
beside Mr.
giving the
Kane Coach, you know,
license back.
Flower Power
Yeah.
down there at the end. Supposedly they're just a cafe. I don't know if somebody told me that the other day.
Yeah.
So that's just another shop that's, I don't know if their license moved somewhere, but I heard Feels Good, for example, that your man just shut it down, just gave his license back or whatever.
Well, I'm sure they
So
encouraged them with
that's one
things.
less license in the city forever now, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
and you don't get them.
Yeah,
they
the
don't hand
fact
those
that-
out anymore.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
can't
not
get
like
it back. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
mental.
so sadly.
Yeah, but they're rebranding places now. I like the way that I see the young crews are coming in. Like,
I'd rather it, like a few places open a second shop than a shop gone, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
half the shops they buy over weren't that popular anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Rooseland up the road, I wouldn't go there, but the plug's nice now, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? So
yeah.
stuff like that, if it's rebranded right, it's alright, you know what I mean? If you weren't going there before, it's no big loss, but
Yeah.
you don't want to see good shops going and nothing coming back or something like
but
that. you
I
know what
like
mean?
seeing the plug come into town because they brought a fresh kick in the ass to
Yeah.
everyone.
Oh,
you
that
know.
was a big difference. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Suddenly a Spanish thing's coming into Amsterdam.
Yeah,
you know
now
what
we
I mean?
have
Change it all
La
up, like.
Colada is here now.
I was only in there yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice
yeah.
little shop. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's open today actually for the first day. Yesterday it was like a private little thing, but nice shop, like a nice little menu and all. Spray paint the wall, comfy out the back. So
Yeah.
it's a nice little shop.
But
there.
they have a good vibe with
I think I was
themselves.
chatting to
Yeah.
the manager. He wants to bring like the Spanish Barcelona kind of vibe here as well. So that should be interesting.
Well,
to
they've
see.
got a good vibe down Barcelona. We've been to their club. It's really nice.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
they seem that way.
But they're
Even
about
the
their-
owner, genuine good dude.
And they're
Yeah.
about quality. That's their thing.
Nice.
They're
Yeah.
really about their quality.
Yeah, their menu was good as well. It was cheap enough. There was nothing like overpriced. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
all reasonable and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So,
seems like a decent little shop.
but again, I see the other one they branded here recently was the Tyson shop.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what to make about that. I'm like,
I don't know. Like it's
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I
I don't
haven't
know.
been in it,
He's
so I
co-
can't
he's coming.
I
say
looked in.
He's
I looked
coming
in.
to it. He's coming here on the
I'm
13th.
putting it out there. I want to challenge the cunt to smoke off edible off. Tyson, if you see this, you're a bitch. I'll outsmoke you. I mean it, man. Put him on his back with edibles, anything.
Yeah, and sure
No,
he could try.
100%.
Yeah,
She wants to challenge him. That's
Yeah.
what she's saying.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
him
no,
on.
I think that-
Edible to edible.
Edible to man.
But he's here on the 13th of September. He's coming to the shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a meet and greet day with him.
I don't know what way they're doing it. I just seen on their their page the other day that he's coming to town and stuff. So.
That'd be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I'd love to get him on here.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I wanted to try his mic bites. You know those.
That's by she's
the
tried them.
cakes.
That's by Trichomes. She said they're lovely.
What's that?
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're these little ears.
So
they're from their actual. They have their own like stoned recipe. So it's actually like a stone with a little butterfly on it.
Okay.
The actual cake itself is delicious.
So Mike
like
Tyson.
he's a Michelin chef. Like his cakes are beautiful.
In America, he has the gummies, but they're shaped like ears with a bite taken out of them because he bit Holyfield's ear off years ago. So that's his gummies, ears with a bite taken out of them. They're called Mike bites.
Oh, that's cool.
But you can't bring them over here because they can't be sold in shops here.
So they make them.
So Trichome Edibles have made a cake version of an ear with a bite taken out of it, and they're selling them there, and they're meant to be lovely. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So,
Yeah. But
it's
find a way around it. You
Well,
know.
Yeah.
people are going to come here and go, do you have the ear edibles? They're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be, do you have
And
the
you'll
gummy
be
ones? You know
happy
what I mean?
when
Oh,
you eat
yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, but I would try if I see it. That's definitely something I have to
Yeah,
try.
she's had them.
Yeah.
She said they're
Yeah.
lovely, yeah.
Like even their stone, like even from beautiful cakes, man. They
Yeah.
make top class edibles.
But it's a new.
Yeah,
It's,
Trichome, like.
it's another way of seeing the coffee shop surviving. That these brands are coming over here, keeping them going.
Yeah, well, I know the people behind Tyson, and I know he's been trying to come here for 5 years now.
Oh yeah.
They've been like going to every shop asking, can we partner with you? So I know Tyson's been trying to come here for a long time. So
Yeah, but those shops won't give up those
this
licenses.
is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I know like they were trying to get a partner, they were trying to buy over, whatever way, they were just trying to get in here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to see them finally here, you know what I mean? Because he has shops in America, so he is a weed brand, that's what he's gone into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was building that big holiday village, did you see that?
No.
It was called Tyson Ranch, that was the original, so Tyson 2.0 was like the second business. I don't know what happened with Tyson Ranch, he must have fallen out with them all.
Okay.
But if you go onto Google, you'll see they had this like big holiday villa with pools and maybe a golf course and all.
Oh,
But it was
nice.
going to be weed through the whole thing, like a cannabis resort. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So this was his goal. It was like not just a weed brand, but a full resort where you can go on your holidays and smoke everywhere, smoke friendly kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it looked
Yeah.
unbelievable. If you look at the pictures, like I don't know if it's still happening, but it's not called Tyson Ranch anymore. It's now Tyson 2.0.
Okay, I seen
So,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
and I wasn't sure the change of it.
I
but-
wasn't sure if 2.0 meant a second business because the first one failed, but then maybe it's he's done the box and this is, you know what I mean, the new Mike Tyson, the second Mike Tyson, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a boxer anymore. I'm a weed fucking connoisseur.
Oh, and he is a big
It's like
weed
Mike
He
head.
does like his
Yeah.
weed, like, I mean, and
Mike
his
Tyson?
mushrooms.
Yeah.
No way.
He has his own podcast called Hot Boxing, and he just brings people on. He sits there smoking with them and stuff. It's very good. Yeah.
All right.
I see him eating mushrooms on it and all. And he was talking to the game or someone. And he starts yawning, and your man's like, "Oh, am I boring?" He's like, "No, the mushrooms just kicked in there."
Yeah,
Cunts just tripping balls on the show, so he's a mad cunt.
Yeah, he's wild. He's living a good life now.
Yeah,
You can see
man.
that, you know. And then I see the other major brand out here is the Cookies brand. You know,
Yeah,
they teamed
yeah.
up with Greenhouse, and like I've been up there. It's nice to see it.
It's a
But
nice shop. They
Yeah.
got rid of the fish tank on the floor. I didn't like that.
no, that's always been there since they opened.
No, they got rid of the fish tank.
Oh, they got rid of
I'm
it.
nearly sure they did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I thought I seen it, and I think someone else said it was gone as well.
I bet that must have been a pain in the ass to keep the upkeep of
stuff.
it. You know.
Did
yeah.
you ever see it?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
You literally
I
walk
missed it.
in and it was just a glass floor with all the koi fish, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that, all
yeah.
in the floor and all this
Oh,
underneath
nice.
it. It was
Yeah.
That's a
mental,
proper
yeah.
Yeah, but that's
They're
Greenhouse always tried to go one over.
Yeah,
Like now
yeah.
they're down Thailand and they've got a
Yeah, I
drive-through
seen the open
place.
one and drive-through.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking hell. On your scooter,
Drive-through.
just
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, it's the first drive-through coffee shop in the world, and it's
Fucking
like, you
in
know,
Bangkok.
That's the way we should be going.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Amsterdam is going backwards.
well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
There
suppose,
should be more smoke cafes, offices that people can come and work at. You
yeah.
know what I mean? The way they have office space, right? Let's do one that's smoke friendly.
Well, they kind of get annoyed with, like, they're always pushing away the English tourist, and they're annoyed with,
Yeah.
like, the smoking crowd coming here. But we always, like, Amsterdam, we all come here for a smoke. They're trying to
Yeah.
make the idea that people come here for the museums and stuff.
No,
Yeah.
they think they could
I
survive
haven't
without
been
the smoke.
to any museum
No, I
in
never.
Amsterdam. I went to Anne Frank.
I've been to the
'cause my
sex
mate was
museum
like,
and it
"I
was
wanna
shit.
go." Yeah, I went there too.
Yeah.
They're my only two.
I lived beside Anne Frank for a year and I
Yeah.
still never been to it. Like,
But that's a real Amsterdam. I've never seen
yeah,
Anne
you know what I
Frank.
mean? I've
Yeah,
never been
yeah.
to Heineken Museum. I've
No.
been on boat tours when the family come over and
yeah.
shit, and that's
Yeah.
about as
Oh, that's
tourist.
the best way to see
yeah.
the town, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is
Yeah.
nice on the boats.
Yeah.
And it's good just to wait till someone comes over, you know what I mean? Do
Yeah.
tourists with tourists, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of sitting here on a Tuesday, I'm going to do a boat tour.
Well, I got Fred
Rights
coming in tonight
Museum.
now at like 10:30, and I have to show him around.
That's it, you have to do tourist shit then.
Yeah, well, no, I'll bring him down to the Cafe Hevlar, and I'll bring him there, and that's a nice place I like
Yeah,
going
I
to
love
as
it,
well.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where she
yeah.
does the puff puff paint.
Yeah, it's great, and I was there the other night when that was going on. That was
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
It's
it
just
was.
nice to see something different coming to the
Yeah,
community.
no,
now,
it
you
is.
know.
It's great to get everyone together, you know what
Well,
I mean? And
Yeah.
like stoners like to chill out, but they're useless, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? They
yeah.
just don't-
Not very
but-
social.
No, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But they want to be, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to be the one to organise and stuff. But if there's
Yeah.
something on, they're like, yeah, I'll show up to that, you
And
know
I
what I
think the
mean? Like,
coffee shops keep us very separate.
yeah.
Like even if you go in by yourself, you kind of go in with your book, and everyone's like on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I kind of wanted to, and then as well with the sessions, we all just usually come and just sit around and smoke. Whereas half
Well,
us have
there's like an
ADHD.
hour and a half of silence when people are actually doing their
Yeah.
painting and stuff. And then after that, when the paint's drying, everyone's like, so what did you do? And just
Yeah.
walking around and smoking and shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
But there is, it's like nearly when the dinner comes, everyone's like chatting away, and then next thing, right, we're painting.
Yeah.
Goes silent, everyone
it's
taking it
beautiful.
serious.
Taking it real
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it's nice
And
to
it-
have that, you know,
Yeah.
something.
Please,
It's something
think
fresh.
We need it as well. Like a lot of the people there are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're working for themselves, and half them leave literally being like, "I needed that."
Yeah.
I turned my phone off from orders, everything for them 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I do sweep fuck all except paint and have a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where
You know
you're
what I
supposed to
mean?
be a stoner and step
Yeah.
out of your mind
Yeah,
for a
that's
minute,
it.
you know.
Literally, and actually step back into why we used to blaze. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That like, right, I'm chilling the fuck out. So for that, I think it's a nice way. I think the community needed it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
needed more stuff to be doing, and even more regular together.
But
Yeah.
like you say, the coffee shops don't really do anything more. They're more
See,
afraid.
the coffee shops
Yes.
can't promote in a way,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're kind of, they need someone like that to come in and say, I can host a thing here on
Yeah.
third party, because then it's not them doing
Yeah.
it, and it's
Yeah.
loopholes again, because the whole city's built on loopholes.
It
you know
is,
what I mean?
yeah,
So, yeah, like literally this is another one, you know what I mean?
Constant.
Oh, you can't promote your shop, well I can promote something in your shop that will get people here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like it definitely works on that level, like.
But they have these things every now and again we go through it. So now there's the no smoking weed around here.
On
I'm
the
not,
streets, yeah.
I'm not even sure where are we allowed and not
I
allowed.
keep
I've no idea.
forgetting. From pretty much like Newmarket
Over to Varmerstraat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like just
something like that,
after.
and then kind of up nearly as far as Rembrandt, but
Oh,
not
yeah?
as far. Yeah.
But what about just the people walking out forgetting they got a joint? Are
Well,
there
the funny
mad
thing
people?
is-
yeah, you
all
happen
the
to-
time.
The
Yeah.
fun-
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm never without one.
The funny thing is, it ends in the middle of
It's
Newmarket,
always
and everything
Newmarket.
after that is residents.
Yeah,
So you're telling people to leave the red light and go smoke your joint where the residents live.
which they don't want.
Definitely
No.
don't want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd rather them stand outside the hooker's window than your fucking sitting room window. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
It's so quiet and
It
lovely
doesn't make
over
sense,
there.
yeah.
You go for a walk over
Yeah.
that way or towards Waterloo Blind.
it's probably a
Beautiful
nice place
town.
to sit and smoke a joint, but the locals don't want that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's why they're
So
like,
it's a weird backwards thing. Get away from the tourist area and smoke your weed in the residential area.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make
But
sense.
there is
It's,
no one's been fined.
no one's been fined
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
just
It was
getting
always,
warned now.
it was
Okay.
kind of just
Yeah.
a campaign to put the
I think
fear
they're
into everyone. You know what I
testing.
mean?
they
Yeah.
do that every few years. There's
Yeah.
always something. Like there years ago, they had that tourist ban down the south of Holland. You know, like they divided the country.
Oh yeah.
So in Maastricht, you know, down
I
south,
know. Yeah, I heard
you,
about that.
you can't get weed there unless you're local resident.
Unless you're
Yeah.
with Dutch
Yeah,
residents.
unless
Yeah.
you have Dutch ID or you've got like some kind of Dutch, you're registered here,
Yeah.
and then you can go to these places. But it one kills their business. But I know one of the owners down there, the Mississippi, a great place to check out if you're down there.
Okay.
And that guy retired. But then they were celebrating that he shut down his place, and he's like, "Well, fuck you guys!" And he didn't need to do this. He opened up again. He's still there fighting the war, you know. So he's one like there's the coffee shop
Legend.
owners that do
Yeah.
this just to fight the system,
Yeah.
you know. So
To keep it alive, like all of the elders in this industry, they've built the foundation.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
For
they
everything
went you
we're
all the
doing.
hard shit and all.
Yeah.
100%.
for
We don't know half of it.
No,
we just
no.
get to walk in and blaze. All the cunts that came and brought the hash, brought everything,
Yeah,
brought the
when it was
genetics.
really illegal, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? They
And still
proper
went through it
built
all.
this.
well, I think as well
Yeah.
there was a lighter time that there was a period here where the cops used smoke weed, and
Yeah.
you know there were stories of them
I'm sure
buzzing
I'm
around
sure
the
some
red
of them
light.
still do, just not out in public. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like this newer race of the police here. They're all right, but they're still like they're they're just too stuck up about it.
They're a very snobby police force.
Yeah, so then they keep running in these laws that they have to implement, like if the smoking thing, I don't know if the police are giving the warnings or is it the Clemente,
I think a mix of the both.
Yeah, but no fines yet. So
but they confuse the tourists coming here, because when you hear that, then you don't come anymore.
I think that's what they want. They want the news to spread that, if you come here and do that. So they want people to go, there's no point in going.
Yeah, so
they want to cut it off before they get here. But they don't want to find them when they're here. They want to stop them. They think that will stop the stoners and grand.
Yeah,
because you have a lot of people coming in being like, can you still smoke here?
Oh yeah.
Are we allowed to
and
smoke
before they always,
I mean?
a lot of them always ask that, can you smoke outside? And I used to be always like, yeah. Now I'm like, not there, but there you can. You know what I mean?
Send them down to the families.
Go over to the old folks' home across the road and smoke outside their door. You know what I mean? Like,
it's getting more foolish in those things with them like that, but they'll do it again. There'll be some new rule or some. I
remember in lockdown, every month they were trying a new thing. This month it's fucking curfew. Everyone's in bed in the house by 9. Yeah. Next month it's all the shops closed at 8. Next month it's everyone needs a QR. Every month they were trying something just to see what worked and what didn't.
But I love the way.
Survey for themselves.
That was different.
You know what I mean? Stay too high to notice. Fuck your rules.
Well, the coffee shops were essential workers.
That's
so
what
I
I
worked
love
through
about
the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they closed them down for one day and then it reopened.
Yeah, like literally not even 20, about 24 hours. I think we were closed. And they said, right, get us back open.
Yeah. But the Prime Minister came on and said it. You know, and my old man called me up from Ireland, like, oh, weed is essential over there. Yeah. Imagine the country without it.
Because I don't think. Like, they see, obviously, the revenue coming in. I don't think they realise the actual foot traffic that comes in.
Oh, yeah.
There's a fucking army.
And then it goes back to the black market, you know what I mean? That's what they didn't want either, because straight away the street dealers were out in force, you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. The panic that night. The fucking panic that night.
The queues of people
closed for a month, you're like, sorry, what the fuck? Everyone's texting, you have a fucking 50 grams of this, 100 grams of that, and all people are pooling together to try and get like whatever they have just to survive.
Yeah, but that was that panic
and then
moment.
24 hours later, we're back open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was looking at flights home to Ireland. I said, we're closed for a few weeks. I have a few weeks holidays. I might just fly home.
Yeah.
Next thing you get a call, you're back in work. Fuck, shit. Straight back to the coffee shop.
Okay, but then it was like, I was saying, that was such a hard time to go through, but at least they kept it going.
Sure.
And then once it reopened again, it's been slowly picking up, and I see that.
I think last year was busier than this year.
Yeah.
I think after everybody got out, and then this year they're like, oh fuck.
I think everyone's broken.
Between lockdown and treating ourselves to that big year after we got out of lockdown, we got to tighten the fucking purse strings again. You know what I mean? Because this summer has been. Usually Tuesdays are like Saturdays. Yeah. Now Saturdays are like Tuesdays. Like it's.
Well, it's also more expensive to stay here. I know, like hotels and the cost of this, you might as well book a flight to Thailand and go there. You know. And a lot of people are doing that.
And especially the smokers, if they are clamping down and telling them we don't want you here, they're like fucking Barcelona, you know what I mean? Or Thailand, if you can afford it, California.
There's Jamaica as well. That's an awesome place.
You can get to like the east coast of America, Boston, New York have it now.
I know.
You know what I mean? You get to there from Europe in a few hours. You know what I mean? That's not even. It's the same as going to bleeding Lanzarote or something. 4 hours or 5 hours.
But then you have the downside with America that they do have all of that.
There's nowhere to smoke it.
Yeah, and that's the killer.
But again, apart from here and joining somewhere in Barcelona, nowhere has place to smoke. Well, Thailand now I think does. You know what I mean?
Well, Barcelona has the thing with the clubs there. You haven't been there. You have to stay inside.
But you also have to pay to join and all
that's
this.
Terrible.
You know what I mean? You can't just go, let's go next shop.
Yeah.
€20. Let's go next shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're living there and you pay that 20,
eventually it pays off. You're there for the weekend. You
Yeah.
want to see a few shops. You're spending £100 just to see 4 or 5 shops. You know what I mean? So that's a bit much. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I'll do it. You know
I'll do it as well.
But it's just an extra. It's not like here you walk in and out of every shop you want.
And that's the great thing about Amsterdam is the coffee shop.
The freedom you pay to join this shop and you go inside and you're like, menu shit. Fuck, I've just joined some club that has shit weed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, imagine having to join half of these shops before you went in the door, you'd be fucking disappointed,
But I used to love walking around Amsterdam, going to all the different shops and checking out what's here today, what's there today, you know? And now, like years ago, there was things like, the grey area always had something different.
Yeah.
It was always known to have something good quality or something.
The menu
that
always had
on
something stuck over it. A new thing just stuck on a piece of paper over on a filter tip.
Yeah, it's still like that.
Yeah.
They stick to what's works.
They change that often,
Yeah, then it's like how they say it. Nowadays, every shop has pretty much the same. They've all got the Cali, they've all got the Canadian, they've all got this and this and this. So there's the high up menus are out there, so you can go to typically any shop now and find something pretty decent, you know. So, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is some shops where you have to pay 15 just to get something average, and there's other shops you pay 15, you're getting the tops. You know what I mean? So it's, if you know where to go, you know what I mean. Some shops you go in, you look at it, they've got 2 or 3 strains for 10 or 12. You're like, there's shit.
Yeah.
If I want to even smoke anything, it has to be 15.
Yeah.
Where other shops you go in, you're like, they've got 6 or 7 for 15, and they're all their best weeds.
Yeah,
you
the
know what
solid
I mean?
ones.
So,
Yeah.
there's some shops you know that you're going to get your money's worth, and other shops it's like fucking.
But I like the thing that they were doing here to do with Babas and Bagheera, the Tasting Tuesdays thing. They're
That's
still
the
doing
Tuesday,
that.
yeah. They don't have it every Tuesday. They didn't have it this week, but the week before they had it. So that's a nice little thing.
Yeah, especially if you're local,
It's
you know that
something
that's a good
interesting,
deal.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they don't release it till the end of the month. They'll say at the end of the month, this week was Kush, this week was this week was a
Oh, they're
gelato.
still doing it that way.
I'm nearly sure they
Yeah,
don't tell
yeah.
you until the end of the month to release all their strains they did that month. and
Yeah, but
say-
I'll forget it at the end of the month.
course.
Yeah.
I'll,
Why
for-
did I buy that?
I'll forget to read their post about the fucking thing,
Yeah.
let them know what I was smoking, you know what I mean? So,
Oh, God.
but no, it is a good idea. It's something different as well, you know what I mean? It's a reason to go back there every week, you know what I mean? It's a gimmick, but it's a gimmick that works, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, but you have to find your way.
you get something that should be half decent,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think you know that it's going to be a treat. It's either going to be really, really good or average,
Yeah.
or you get lucky.
It's going to be €10 worth,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually you're very rarely, you know what I mean, ripped off on it, you know what I mean? I feel like you didn't get your money's worth out
Yeah.
of €10 strain. Like,
When you
know
go
what
to the bigger brands, then you're always paying a top rate.
I mean? Oh, stop,
Yeah.
yeah, like, that's it. Like, it's,
Yeah, and that's kind of annoying that there is the major places, like, you know, when you come to Amsterdam, you go to see the Anne Frank, you go
Yeah.
to, like, the Green Place or the Greenhouse, the Bulldog.
Yeah.
The Bulldog
well,
is-
they're all the tourist spots.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But I mean,
But you know what? Even as a tourist, I think I knew not. I think I came with a mate, and he might have put me wide, but
Yeah.
I never went to the Bulldogs. You know what I mean? I knew just.
was that
I don't
because you
know.
were Irish? And so
Like, it could have been that, you know what I mean? It's a bit too English sounding,
Yeah,
the old
yeah,
Bulldogs.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'll give that a miss. you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
So-
yeah.
But again, I think you just know by the look of it, this is a tourist spot, so probably not the best.
Well,
what
do
I
you know, originally they have a great history here. They started in the very
mean?
beginning.
Oh, their marketing's great.
Yeah.
Even in other countries,
Yeah.
you'll find Bulldog merch.
Yeah.
Maybe in Spain, you go into a souvenir shop, it's nearly Bob Marley Bulldog. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not that big, but it's
He's
known
out
as a
there.
brand of weed. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A fair fucking play to them for that. Like,
Yeah, they've done well with
Keeping
it.
it alive as well.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
older as well. And it's like, you know, the original
Yeah.
guy, he's very wealthy and he doesn't need to do any
yeah,
of
of
this.
course.
But they've got so many people working for them. It's a huge
Oh,
family.
yeah,
they have
no,
to
I'd
look
say
after
so. Yeah,
them.
it's an empire now at this
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
I love the police station one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
were arrested there so many times, so when it shut down, they turned it into a coffee shop as
Yeah.
a little fuck you to the
Yeah,
police.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
great. Like, you
Yeah,
know
but that's
what I
the
mean?
old school guys back in the day.
And they even
Yeah.
left it
They're
looking like the
staying
cop
strong
shop. You know what I
with
mean?
it.
I think there's a cell in the back and all. Like, it's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
That's
just to keep it
fucking-
rich. Is there a cell there? I can't
I
remember. I
don't
think it's
remember.
downstairs was where there was the lockup
There's something
there.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they kept a few bits to make you let you know it's a police
Yeah.
station. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
That's
place is
brilliant,
booming
you know
all
what I
the
mean?
time
Yeah.
as well.
I
you
lived
know.
across the road. I literally could lie in my bed with the curtain open and see in the window of that.
Yeah.
And Lloyd's playing. I lived across from like 2 years. I don't think I was in it once.
Yeah.
I think I sat outside it once, had a joint in the sun, and that was it. I never went in. Like, I mean, if I was going for weed there, I'd probably go. Get Down wasn't bad. They have an all right menu.
I like that
They've
place.
got better, and
Yeah.
they've
But I
done
like
it-
his secret
Yeah,
where you go
the
down the
reno-
stairs.
the
Yeah.
renovations
Into the
now,
little
pool
room and all,
tables down
yeah.
the back. It's a nice old spot. They've done it all up out the back as well, so
Yeah.
it's nice. Happy Feelings isn't bad around the corner.
Okay.
Noon used to be good. It's now Terps Army, but that used to be. You'd get a good few selections for not too expensive.
Wasn't the
you know what I mean?
Dolphin down there?
Dolphin. It used to be terrible. It used to have one of the worst reputations, and someone told me in the last year or two they've been bought over.
Okay.
And they've done a revamp on their menu, and it's got better. I've heard a few people like raving about it. I haven't been in it, so
Okay.
I don't know. But at one stage, it was one of the worst known shops. But it's lovely inside, lovely couches downstairs, the whole
Yeah.
lot. But I don't know, their weed was very badly reviewed or something. They'd like have Dolphin Haze, Dolphin Kush, stuff like this.
Well,
you
your
know what I mean?
location is a big thing here. You could
Yeah.
sell garbage and get away
Oh,
with it.
that's it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
annoying though,
But
because
Yeah.
I think there should be nearly, and it comes again with the whole loophole jazz of it's not regulated.
Yeah,
But I think there should be a certain standard of
yeah.
what they're selling to people.
But that's
people
that-
should be educated
Yeah,
in some
well,
degree. on-
90% of people don't know. You know what I mean?
No, but
if
like
you
they're
gave them the
selling
best or the
people
worst, you
mouldy
couldn't.
weed and
Yeah.
like something that's actually, it's not just like, oh, it doesn't taste great. It's actually harmful
But that's the
to
shop
your
should have their
body.
own, you know what I mean, pride, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
But originally it was like the law was created for the hash to be legal because the weed wasn't a big thing, it was just grass.
Yeah.
So now we've evolved since the 70s to where we are now, and that law was not designed for where we are now. You know, the
Yeah.
whole weed
Yeah.
scene took over, and like I'm a weed guy, and
Yeah.
I love isolator and stuff like that or solventless, but one is super expensive to be smoking that stuff right now, you know. And for the weed thing, it's just like that took over from when that law was first created. They had to adapt, and then they gave coffee shop licenses. I think when it first happened, anyone could open a coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
Because wasn't it like a tea room?
Yeah.
They were the original,
Yeah,
started
yeah,
as
yeah,
tea
yeah,
rooms,
yeah. So
and then
the
everyone
first one,
started
the
just
mellow
selling the
yellow.
hash under the counter.
there's always the argument what was the original.
The first one to have a license was Rusland.
Yeah.
Mellow
Where the-
yellow.
Mellow Yellow
Yeah.
says they were the original, and
Yeah.
then for some reason the Bulldog says they're the original. But the first to have a license was Rusland. Now the plug have on their back window established in 1976 or something like that.
Yeah.
Are you fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's a good marketing ploy,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? They're in the shop that was
They were
founded
born
then.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got their that shop got their license back then, but
Yeah.
the plug
Yeah.
wasn't even an idea back then.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
weren't even born back
No.
then, bro. You
Yeah.
know, they just came about.
Yeah.
But then there's like again the way this moved on here is that the laws have not changed very
Yeah.
much,
No.
and they've just gone stricter with
Yeah.
fines and
Just when
But
they
do
brought
you
in
think-
news. Well, go on.
I think it's because the cannabis scene has gone a lot more into how cool do you look, how
Yeah.
big is your
Yeah.
rig, how
Yeah.
much do you dab.
Yeah.
No one's like, are we not still fighting? That's what I mean about all the
But the-
elders that laid
But
the
that's what I mean.
foundation.
The fight is nearly over. That's why these people
But
aren't
not
fighting.
so much if it's going backwards.
Yeah.
We kind of got a bit lazy on it, I think.
We're stoners. What do you
Yeah.
expect?
Yeah, no, but I think we got too much into the hype of what's cool
Yeah.
and being the flashy.
It's kind of like, do you think they're at the finish line? They're already celebrating. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we're-
Like it's,
when it got legal in America, kind of the Americans
but
stopped
even
coming
there,
here.
it's not fully legal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The federal law. All
Yeah.
it takes is the wrong
Yes.
president to come in and fuck shit up. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's,
and they are like it's not easy to do it out there because they're
Yeah.
dealing just with cash and they can't put
yeah,
their
you
money
can't
in
put
the
it into
bank.
banks and all that
Yeah,
stuff. And
yeah,
it's crazy. Like,
yeah.
you know
So
what I
they
mean?
somehow still pulled it off, which you have to
Yeah.
admire. And it's like this
Yeah.
is great, but they've so much production going on there. It's all over the world. It's like you
Yeah.
know in this town now there's so much Cali around.
Yeah.
And for me, it's nice to have flavors, but one, I hate they're overpriced.
Yeah.
And if you're in
yeah.
the States, you're not paying that kind
Not
of stupid
at all,
money
No, no.
Like,
But-
what would it be?
for what the stuff they'd have in the States.
Yeah.
Well, it depends like how much you're getting. And as
Yeah.
well, over there I got a license when I went over there, a medical license.
Nice.
I got a license to grow 199 plants, and I could have 5 kilos on me anytime, any place.
Fucking hell.
5.
Here
Yeah.
you're allowed 5
Yeah.
grams.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
You
difference.
just
Yeah.
walk around with a clear bag and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Be like,
The idea behind that though in America is so vast that you might
Yeah.
need to come down and buy your weed in, let's say, Alaska and go way up into the mountains. and
Yeah.
You need your 5 kilos
Yeah.
while you're going up there.
Yeah.
Can't be coming out for 5 grams every day.
Yeah,
like, you know
but
what
I
mean?
knew
Yeah,
a dude
fair.
over there and he would go around with a suitcase of 5 pounds of weed. He'd take 5 pounds just because he could.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
you kind
Yeah,
of would.
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
you?
Oh.
yeah. But
If I had 5 pounds of
Backpack.
weed, I'd bring it everywhere with me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It wouldn't be 5 pounds for too long. but,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. But again, that's how how they bling it up over there. And a big part of this tourism back in the day for the weed scene was the Americans coming here. Like the original High Times Cup, we used to have it here.
Yeah.
That was a big treat every year. I don't know if you were around when those things were happening, but
I was here for
Yeah.
the anniversary one, like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I came back for like 1 year only.
yeah.
So I was here for that, but I missed all the other ones.
Yeah, well, they were like a highlight of our year. It was a big thing, and it was unique
You
to
entered
Amsterdam.
them?
Yeah, I
Is
want
this them?
This is now from one of their newer cups. This is the American style. This is the Spanibus. So I won first place at Spanibus with my strain Shoreline. We did a live resin BHO extract,
Okay.
and we were up against Tangy and a few other strains. But we came in first place, and I met the
Nice.
judges when they did it afterwards. They just loved the way the Shoreline came out.
Yeah.
And they said it was just like Tangy was here and Shoreline was way up there. And it's like,
Fucking hell.
I haven't done that very often. This was
Yeah.
competition. But we took first place with my friend Jay from Nectar Sector.
Yeah.
And he's from America, Nectar Sector Concentrates.
Okay.
So we met each other at a High Times Cup in Colorado.
Yeah.
And this guy was a very strict judge on the competition. He wouldn't leave you fuck around with anything.
But nice though.
Yeah, really
that's what you
cool.
want.
Very
Yeah.
serious person. And then
Nice.
when I met him, he came out here to judge a cannabis cup. And when I was doing it here, I would be running around all that weekend. So I'd be doing the show, and they'd have an expo, and you'd come and meet me, and I'd talk to you about what we're doing, how we work, and blah blah blah.
Right.
hopefully sell you some seeds. But afterwards, no one knew that I had to go water the plants and take care of everything. So you were running around that whole weekend, and then at the end of the competition, I met Jay at the green place, and he pulled out this hash he had, and he said, bro, this is the nicest hash I had the whole competition. And he was forcing for the vote for it to get mentioned, but they wouldn't allow it. And I was like, all right. And then he showed me the hash. I saw it, like, bro, are you messing with me? Like, why? I said, that's my hash. And like, no way. And I pulled out a big jar of the same hash. And right then and there, we bonded really good.
Yeah.
And I went out to America to see him, and he showed me how to make the BHO. You know what that is, the BHO?
I've heard of it, yeah. It's the one with the gas.
So it's butane hash oil.
Yeah.
So there's a thing I saw you mention on your last episode about the BHO here in Amsterdam. It's forbidden.
Yeah, it's the pressed one is okay, with gas it's forbidden.
Yeah, and the reasons why, because back in the day when they legalized hash weed, but they put in the law no hash oil. And because of that, they were burning like
How
the
did they
hippies.
know that was coming? Or was
No,
that
they
thing
were
back
making
then?
it back then, like with a
Okay.
big pot, and they put tinfoil on top
It was
of
a lot
it,
more dangerous
and alcohol.
back then.
Yeah,
Gas
so
getting blown
they
up
were
and
burning
all,
down
yeah.
places.
Meth
yeah.
lab or something,
Yeah.
wasn't
But
it?
to be honest, the BHO stuff is not as that friendly. I mean, there's houses have burnt down for making it. You
Literally,
know.
that's why I've
Yeah.
heard literally apartment blocks just get like the apartment just blown
Fuck
off.
yeah,
the
yeah.
side, like see you later.
Stoners trying to do their own shit at home. like,
Yeah.
Someone lighting
Yeah.
a cigarette in the background.
Yeah.
But it is a mad system of how we
Yeah.
do that extract. And like for me, I remember we were really into it, and it was very popular at that moment to do the BHO.
And have you found a safer way to do it in America, or is it still as dangerous?
No, I think it got more dangerous with the
Jesus
closed
Christ.
loop systems they have. They're literally like a ticking time bomb. If you don't keep your shit together, that can blow a hole through the roof. And it's like there's all kinds of ways and devices of doing it. I favoured open blasting because I could put a pipe in a clear area, and I put my cans of gas on top, and I would blast through the material. Then I'd filter it out, and I'd use a vacuum oven that I'd heat, and I would literally purge all of the butane gas molecules that were in that hash out of it.
Yeah.
And then I'd have clean shatter, and if I wanted to, I could whip up that shatter into a wax or a crumble or whatever.
I know a little bit about making it. Is that that's pure THC, there's not even flavour, what's it fucking...
No, that's diamonds.
Okay.
So diamonds is another process of it.
There's
like
one where you take everything out, even the terpenes.
Yeah.
You even take the terpenes out, and then you have to add them back in or something after. Yeah,
that's the diamonds and sauce, and there's a BHO way of doing that where you would like grow them. I wasn't so into that technique, but then the rosin thing came along, and again I was in California at a cannabis cup, and I met the owner of what are they called again? Is it Rosin Press? The original rosin one. He had the prototype at the show. I had a stupid
the prototype of the press.
Yeah, and the first time I saw a rosin press and it was being explained to me, I was like, because we were all using hair straighteners at this stage. So like that was the big thing, and we were just getting into it. And for me, I was like, that's the future. I want to make that hash. And the guy wouldn't sell me the machine. I was gutted. I was ready to fly back here with it. But as soon as I got back, I started looking into it, and I started rosin. I figured out mechanical separation, which is the same thing what you're saying. I would make the diamonds and the sauce and separate them and add them together. And it's a high-end technique. It's like, how would I say it? You'll start with one process, making isolate or solventless. You'll get a return. Let's say you'd run a kilo, you get probably 50, 60 gram return.
Yeah, the returns.
Then you would
heard
make.
very small.
They're low.
That's why the
But this
price
there's a thing as well. This is when we used to do it. It was the trim. But nowadays people use the full flour.
Yeah.
And before, the flour was so valued that it wasn't justified to make it into hash because you'd make more out of the flour.
Yeah.
So it just became a normal thing here that your trim, your waste was made into hash.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so, how would I say it, desired like it is now.
There's obviously a big difference between trim rosin and flour rosin.
Big time, yeah. So there's a thing of like nowadays people are doing what we call whole fresh frozen plant. You know what that is?
I've heard these.
This
They're
WWFF.
freezing it straight
So they
down,
just
like
chop
they're
the plant straight
drying
down,
it,
then
yeah.
they freeze it, and you do it for like, I think it's like 24 hours would freeze it for minimum. And then you just start making isolator. And you know what that process of isolator is? We'll literally take a bucket of water.
And you strain it all out with the ice or something.
Yeah, that's basic technique of it.
Yeah,
They've
I've
got
seen videos on it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. All it is water, ice, and you're using filters to extract
And
it.
then you do, the reason it's called triple filter is you do it 3 times, is it?
No, this is again, sir, that's you'd be mixing up like a dry sift stuff. That'd be Moroccan hash and stuff. So originally we call it isolator, but now it got renamed. Well, not renamed, it got correct name given to it. So back in the day I met a guy, he was the first guy doing the solventless. They call him Nicotine. And he's over in Colorado, and he's a fantastic hash maker. He came out here and learned his technique from the Pollinator Company. He went back to America and he perfected it in a world that was full of BHO, that butane hash oil.
Yeah.
Everyone was wild about it, so Nick had to come in with his isolator. No one wanted it.
Yeah.
So then when he realised that you're all using butane to make this hash, well, I just use water. So he called it solventless, and then people started looking and paying attention to what he was
Okay.
doing. So
Yeah,
that's the first
it's
stage of it, and then you'll take that and put it into rosin, where you fill the bags and you squeeze this hash and the rosin will return.
Yeah, yeah.
So now your 60 grams goes down to about 40.
She started
So-
with a kilo, now you've got 40 grams.
You have rosin. So that's why the value of rosin goes up, because you're trying to balance the books.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
trying to
doing.
get your kilo fucking...
Yeah, you'd want to be
Yeah.
growing it yourself, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And then you go on to the next stage of it, making the separation. It's called mechanical separation of the diamonds. There's two ways of doing it. The one I like right now is you'll take the rosin, put it into a mason jar, and you put it in an oven at 220 degree Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. And it'll do this process where it'll melt into a liquid. Then once you take it out after 45 minutes, you don't open the jar. You put it on top of the oven at 100 degree Fahrenheit. Leave it for about 24 hours and this crystallization happens. So you get crystals forming as well as the terpy sauce separating. And this again is a lower in your yield.
And them temperatures are key. There's nothing, you're not losing that at them temperatures.
You're preserving terpenes, you're keeping everything. If you go over that, you're going to burn off stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, like you don't want to do that. The idea is to preserve.
Yeah.
So
And
once
Can I also ask the why? So, like, you want to separate it to extract the terpenes.
it's to get it a
and-
higher end. So like you say, of the 99% THC, you're going for that level with it. So
And then you add back in them
The
terpenes.
terpenes.
yeah, for
But
the
then
flavour.
does that not reduce it back down again?
No, because when you do isolator, let's say it like this, you still got certain contaminants in there of, like, you know, the fibre from the plant material.
Yeah.
So you'll test your THC out at like 64% THC.
Yeah.
Then you go for the rosin, and because you've refined it, now you're going to get a testing of like 75, 85 THC.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the next level of mechanical separation, you're going to get that high 90, 95, you know, when you're testing on them. And so that was excitement for people, and it's not like that everyone's running around looking for these things.
Yeah.
One, there's low returns on it, and it's not worth
Yeah.
your time to do this if there's no demand.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like the supply and demand here. Rosin is a huge thing at the moment because the texture is how we manipulate it. So there's all kinds of procedures to bring out the terpenes and get the flavour more rich.
Yeah.
And there's ways of curing it. Then there's a new style of hash. It's called the Piatella. You've heard of
Okay.
this
I've
hash?
heard of the.
It's amazing. It's done by this crowd down in Barcelona, Uncle Farm.
Okay.
And I
Yeah,
know the guy
I've seen
quite
these
well,
guys,
and he is
yeah.
an artist when it comes to this
No
hash.
way.
And now he's like, it's not cheap, but it's well worth it. And it's
Yeah.
just isolator, solventless. He's not putting it through all these other processes.
Yeah.
And
Very
he's getting a
clean as
really
well then.
clean quality product. And
Nice.
I like to smoke joints. So
Yeah.
I can put this into a joint, and it's very delicate. If you get on your finger and you forget about it and wipe your eye, just tearing up all night
No
with it.
way.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
intense. So,
Yeah.
but the hash itself is so clean, delicious. It's like another level.
You
that
wouldn't dab it, would you?
you could, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
it's full melt. It will melt through, and everything is clean about it,
Okay.
you know, because they're really going for the highest quality, and like they've
Yeah.
got a pride in how they do, and they're Italian people, so Italians love their hash
Yeah.
to a whole other
Yeah,
level, you know.
they
So
do,
they
yeah.
appreciate it, and like I'm a hash maker. That I love the feel, the texture of it. But also, I don't like spending the money on it, and it's
Yeah.
nice to get the money in your pocket instead of like wasting
Yeah, of
on it all
course,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And again, I'm a weed guy, so that's my specialty, you know. So when it comes to the growing stuff, that's my passion. But I love the seed breeding. I love the whole idea of preserving genetics and making new creations. But again, the competition's getting fiercer out here because
Yeah.
there's new
Yeah.
stuff all the time. New seed companies popping up. Like for me, thankfully, I've got a little legacy here.
Yeah.
That we're,
I've heard you.
We've been
from
around
the day
years
I came
ago,
around,
yeah.
and I didn't know anyone in the scene when
Yeah.
I first moved over, and I've heard you.
No,
yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
yeah.
we made a good impact. You know, it's
No,
been
well
a while.
done.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you're keeping it strong.
Yeah, and I
You
wanted,
know what I
like,
mean? Yeah.
COVID knocked me back for a long time of, like,
I
what were we
see.
going to do? And rules and regulations have changed here rapidly.
Yeah.
So I've looked into Spain. I was down there, and Spain it's got its thing going there, but they've gone very strict with the laws lately.
Yeah.
So they're closing down clubs all the time. You could be in the club there, and the cops will walk in and they'll
Shut
kick
the whole shit
everyone
down,
out.
fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah, and it's a bit freaky with the Spanish
Yeah.
police. So, do you know, and they keep changing rules about CBD. Changes there every weekend, so he has to change a label because now you can't word it that way. It has to be said this way.
Yeah.
So,
it's
do you know,
very
there's
strict with the product.
yeah, and this
Yeah.
is the thing of, like, down there was a big hype of the CBD thing. I'll just bring him into it now about
Yeah.
the CBD world is loose in regards of it's everywhere,
Yeah.
saturation of it, and you don't know what you're really getting. But like with
Yeah.
Puravida, it's an established company, Puravida CBD. So his brand is known because he goes to all these trade fairs. And in the industry, we have them all over Europe, these trade fairs, which you could talk a bit
Yeah.
about those. They're a task.
Yeah.
That's how we
Yeah.
actually met.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it's a good
actually, we
segue.
like
I thought he was never going to get a word in.
It's because you
The
know when
Irish can
the
talk.
Irish
Once
can
they
talk,
get
I was gonna
going,
say.
we'll talk
no,
for
and
fucking-
Dara is a good way of
Yeah, no, a good
Yeah,
segue
no, I'm
in.
interested. I like CBD.
Okay.
I really do. I think it's powerful.
I'm
more than
still
people know.
skeptical. You know what I mean? Because I smoke so
Yeah.
much weed, it's
Well,
hard
it's-
to believe that this will do something. You know what I mean? Weed barely gets me high now, so I know it's not meant to get you high. It's more for the medical. So
well,
just-
it's also made for like all the people that don't smoke weed.
yeah, no,
basically.
that's
They'll
it.
have,
That's the real
like,
aim of it.
the
yeah.
people that don't ingest the cannabinoids,
Yeah.
you know, in one way or another, they can get them
The
from
CBD.
from
yeah,
that.
they can get the benefits without the high or without anything
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that. Yeah,
And
yeah, of
without
course.
having to get into the smoking scene and like everything that we talk about for the last hour, because like for most of the people, it's totally like unknown. So
yeah, and it's still scary for a lot of people that grew up in the
Yeah.
reefer madness, fucking lies and bullshit. You know what I mean?
and
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
most of the people they want to follow the law. So if the law says that's it's not legal yet, they don't want that, you know.
Yeah, it's still
So-
taboo.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's something like my father will try it. You know,
Yeah.
my father
Yeah.
doesn't smoke or anything, but the CBD, he'll try it and it works for him.
Yeah.
But if you got nothing wrong with you, that won't have much effect.
No.
But if you've something wrong with you, he's got
You'll-
loads of people.
But
Yeah.
that's what I call the alternative medicine. So
Yeah.
it's like it's
Nice.
medical
Yeah.
cannabis. We do recreative
Yeah.
cannabis, and in the same way we also medicate.
Yeah, no,
basically.
we get a bit of benefits from it as well.
yeah,
of
exactly.
course.
Like I believe myself, I get my high dosage of cannabinoids,
yeah,
probably too much, you know.
yeah. There's
But-
no such thing as too much.
And yeah, well, the only thing is that we smoke tobacco.
Yeah.
In the US, they smoke pure.
Yeah, of course.
They have a different view of smoking. Like for them, the weed and tobacco is separated basically.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
And hash, they don't even know what it is. So
Yeah, no,
like
it-
Moroccan hash. I mean,
yeah. No,
So-
they didn't never no hash really in America.
yeah. Now
And if I hear American accent, I'm straight away going, "This has tobacco. This has no tobacco."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's made for the Americans and the Canadians as well.
Yeah.
So
you
they
know.
don't have hash over there.
It's very rare. Very
Not
rare.
ours.
Yeah, and
No.
if it gets
I
there, it's
wasn't
very
Irish
special.
Anyway, and
Like,
now
God bless
I'm-
Morocco.
You
know?
could probably sell.
I need my Moroccan hash.
You could probably sell hash from here over there the way they sell Cali over here. You know what I mean? Like, because it's
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be the guy that does that. Though.
Yeah.
I'm from France myself, and like I mean, France like for a
Hash
good
is big there.
for a good time like
the
was
shit.
no, but I mean France is kind of like spread in half. From the north, you get all the weed that comes down from Netherlands.
Okay.
So me, I'm from the north of France. We always had weed.
You
since-
Dutch weed, then
Yeah,
the
yeah.
south get the Moroccan stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the south, you only have hash from
Yeah.
Morocco. You
They
know.
call it shit, don't they?
Yeah, in French.
They
Yeah.
always come into when you have the shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah,
I have shit.
The French word is le shit.
The shit, yeah, very good.
Yeah, I didn't know that. One.
Yeah, no, you never
You
heard
didn't
them
know?
call the
No.
shit?
No,
Yeah,
no. know that,
But like French people, they never think about like shit, like
Like-
yeah,
Yeah.
like shit.
yeah.
They just think about hashish.
But it's like, I get it too, you know what I mean? It looks like it.
And haven't laws gone?
Yeah, somehow.
Haven't laws gone strict about CBD in France now again?
Yeah.
Now it's been a
Canadian.
reopening for the last like maybe 2-3 years. So now there's much more CBD shop again.
And what's the limits, the CBD?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're there like for a while it was open, and then they wanted product with no THC whatsoever.
0.00.
Yeah, 0.00.
Yeah.
So that's why then they end up like refining all those extracts.
Okay, yeah.
They didn't had to before like refine them, and then like they had to do it to keep up with the market basically.
Yeah.
So all those products are made like with broad spectrum extract. So it's
So what's this?
this
Yeah.
is like CBD balm.
Smart stuff.
Yeah.
Cleansing cream and all.
Yeah.
Like we spoke on it today about the CBD.
You have the cleansing cream, the moisturizer that
smart.
goes with it.
lemon pie. Oh, that's so cute.
I knew you'd
Yeah.
like this stuff, yeah.
No, but really well because I think it needs to be out there. Honestly, I used to always wear makeup, everything.
Yeah.
Now I live here, I don't. But I wish I could go and buy, like, if ever I go and buy something facial, it's always shit. It's always chemical. Whereas anyone that I've tried that has CBD products, my skin reacts perfect. with
Yeah,
it.
people say
Any
that.
scars I have ending,
Just
it's
more natural.
healed
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much more. Like all
Definitely.
the stuff in the actual shops, it's chemically. Whereas this, you're
Well,
bringing it down to the herbal, as you said, alternative medicine.
And what's
Yeah.
that's a moisturizer, is it?
yeah, those are moisturizer. You
Nice.
You can open it if you want, like to check it out.
Have a smell.
But also you're known for the
Is that like-
tinctures and the teas and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talk us through a few of the products.
Yeah.
Definitely, those products are handmade with natural ingredients.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to keep it as Puravida
sealed.
as we can.
Yeah.
This is like a big balm. You can
Okay.
apply it on your skin anywhere. It's
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And like,
Um,
would that moisturize will also have healing factors?
Yeah, a few scars.
Exactly, that will do
Yeah.
exactly both. It's a good
Okay.
moisturizer for your skin already naturally, and if you have something wrong on your skin or locally
Like
under, like
psoriasis.
Yeah,
like
I've heard some people
on your
talk
muscle or
wonders
something.
about CBD. They
Yeah.
put it on, it just disappears.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Well, yeah,
crazy.
it does a lot of good thing. Like even if you do smoke like a lot of weed, like
Yeah.
you and me, you can still use on
Balance
top
of
of
it.
that CBD product
Yeah.
To pump it up basically.
Yeah, of course.
and
More
to do
a concentrated bit on that, on the affected area. Or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly, because like the skin is the largest organ of the
Of
of
the
your
body,
body,
yeah, yeah.
so it absorbs everything on it. So if you put something locally and you take some oil on top of that and you smoke, then you're good, you know.
But
Yeah.
the oil
Because
is
you
the
need-
big thing, Antoine. Like the oil is the
Yeah, like the best, like for the people that don't smoke, like the real way to get the CBD is like this.
Because I
That's
have
my-
heard with the CBD, it has the effect. Like one of our friends makes bath bombs.
I saw him last
And,
week. Yeah.
no, he says like it's not going to get into your system in the way of getting you high. So again, that like I used one actually the other day and I came out chilled as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Very chill. Like and
Nice.
I only used one of the small bags from the sessions, and lovely and like actually relaxed. And noticed my head as well stopped buzzing. No. So I do think that has a big impact. I think we're lacking a lot of them cannabinoids,
Well-
especially with like the way we're going with the heavy filtered stuff. It's high THC. We've no CBD.
Well,
Yeah.
we smoke to get high, so we definitely smoke. We want
Yeah.
THC when we smoke.
Yeah.
And our body is looking for that. And like me, like and Dara, we smoke mainly Kush.
Yeah.
So
I
we-
only smoke indica. Well, yeah. pretty
yeah,
much
because
indica
at the
myself.
end, heavy smoker, you want a lot of THC to get high, but you
Yeah.
want the CBD to do the
The
balance, you
relaxing,
know,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
relax effect and the thing that it doesn't get to
Yeah, too much.
yeah
Yeah.
to your brain too
More
much.
in the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you smoke
Big time.
amnesia all day, like for like years,
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no,
I
that,
cannot do
haze
that. Like it
drives you
gets
crazy.
Yeah,
like,
It does, yeah.
Eventually,
That-
it drives you a bit
that's-
cuckoo.
So many people.
Yeah.
So many people that say weed's not for me, it's because all they've had is haze and
Yeah.
it made them paranoid and all
Yeah,
this stuff.
exactly.
I just tell them you're smoking the wrong weed.
Yeah,
know
you
what
need
I
to
mean?
smoke
Yeah.
Kush.
Smoke
Kush.
indica.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
converted
yeah.
so many people from
He
sativa
has.
to indica.
Yeah.
It's,
But usually
it's
that's
like my
all they
life
get.
mission, you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
all you can get where you're
In
from.
Ireland, it was haze. I literally
Yeah.
grew up on hash down. Whenever the hash ran out, it was just haze up
Yeah.
until I moved here. And
Yeah.
then, like, I didn't even really know weed when I first moved here, and I'd buy haze. I'm like, that tastes like stuff I've been smoking for the last 10 years. I'm like, get another haze. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I learned then more indicas, more kushes, and shit that I hadn't been smoking for 10 years that I hadn't completed. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I always say there's a weed out there for everyone.
that's it. People
know?
that have, oh no, it's not for me. I don't
Yeah.
like this, I don't like that. I'm like, you're just smoking the wrong ones. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Definitely.
Well,
That's
some of
why
them
I
are hard to
stick
get.
that, Rolex.
Some of them are hard to get
Yeah.
consistently.
No,
You know,
no,
you'll
it
get
is,
something
it's
that's
good.
Well, this is
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget we had an OG Kush in my coffee shop, and it was fucking beautiful and earthy, gorgeous. And then I came into work one day and I went to buy it, and it was ran
Gone.
out. And it was my first time ever realising that a strain can end, and that particular strain might never come back again.
Yeah.
I'd never experienced
And
that
then,
before.
and then you
It's been a
realize I
heartbreak.
must start growing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a fucking
Yeah.
devastating realisation. You know
I've
what
had
I
a
mean?
few of those where there's literally I'll never see that again. Yeah.
Because no grow is the same. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Especially here. Maybe in America they can get the consistency and this and that. But no grow here is the same. So
Yeah.
we got an OG cushion. Then a few months later, I'm like, fucking, it's back.
Yeah.
Went to bought. I go, that's not what we had.
You get
before,"
disappointed.
You know what I mean? It's not the same.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's-
you get the tours here that come like Barney's a good example. They have a consistent menu, but
Yeah.
you'll go there 3 years ago and try whatever critical weed you liked.
Yeah.
You go back there now and it's still on the menu,
With a
but it's
different
pretty
strain.
sure it's going to be something else.
definitely. Yeah, no, it won't taste the exact same for
Yeah,
sure.
but they do have things like that green spoon that they have up
yeah,
there.
that's their own strain, isn't
That's
it?
literally super sativa. That's like the
Yeah.
Neville's Haze stuff that was back in
that's
the
like
day.
the closest to pure sativa out of
Love
any
it,
strains.
but it's something that
I've
if
never
you're,
tried it.
if you're an indica smoker, it's something you have to wake up in the morning, go there fresh,
Yeah.
smoke it first joint a day,
Yeah.
and then you'll feel the high. Because if you smoke indica and smoke that, won't do
Won't
anything.
that,
Yeah.
I
I
must try
tried
it
it in
sometime.
katsu.
That'd be
Yes.
That's you have it.
Yeah,
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
1750 on the
Yeah,
menu,
no,
but it's one of them ones I
it's
wanted
such a
to
small
try.
yield.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out with buds or all these little nuggets.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
The
just these
weird,
little pods.
So
That's
that's
It's
all
why
an
it is.
people-
ugly looking bud.
Yeah, people don't
like if
grow
you
it.
don't know, I didn't know, and then someone's like, you have to try
Yeah, no,
this.
it
Yeah.
doesn't
And I
but
was
that
like,
smell,
okay.
that smell is so unique.
Oh,
also.
It doesn't
wow.
So
come
every
in
time
big
you're like,
lugs
wow.
ever. It's
No.
always these little tiny
Yeah,
things. I've seen
like
them,
that's a
yeah.
phenotype again. They did a selection, and that was the one that they thought was super good. But as a
Yeah.
grower, I would not have ran that
No,
thing.
because it's no
It-
yield off
No,
it.
but
I mean, it's
you'd
just-
find a better one. Just grow out the seeds again and get something that's got a bit of volume
So what,
onto
you
it.
think you could do a better version of Dr. Grinsman?
What I've done
Good
haze.
process, yeah.
Haze
Yeah.
I've tried to do is the Neville's haze, and I know like some of the original guys around Neville.
Yeah.
And he's one of the. Do you know who Neville is?
No.
He's the original breeder of Amsterdam, bro.
Okay.
Well, no, that's a bit loose. I should say Sam the Skunk Man is the
Sam
guy
the
that brought
Skunk Man.
Skunk One to Netherlands.
Okay.
And he's the guy that changed the game because before that they just had basic bushweed.
Okay.
So when he came along, he brought that Skunk One to town, changed the whole industry.
Yeah.
Then Sensi Seed got taken over by Ben Dronkers, the Hash Marijuana Museum.
Okay.
And he was going over to Afghanistan on missions.
Trying
And
to find strains.
oh, he was finding strains all
Oh,
right,
nice.
and there was big bricks coming back with him, you know. So he sent this young kid over there, Neville, and Neville was working for him at the time, and Neville was over from Australia. Apparently he was like a heroin addict, came here for getting on some program to get you off it.
Yeah.
And that's another story, but then he was like nominated as the breeder for Cincy Seed, and they sent him
really?
over to Afghanistan. When he got there, he was looking at the guys that were producing the hash and like, yeah, I want to get your seeds. And they're like, you want the seeds? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, for what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to grow them in Amsterdam. And they were like, yeah, here you go, kid. Get him all these Afghani seeds and all
No
this
way.
stuff. Yeah. And like a friend of mine has still the original menus, and you can see the original crosses of the Afghan with the Skunk One and what they called it after that, and the development of the genetics. Yeah, it was a really cool time, you know.
Yeah.
And Neville, when they were doing it, he said it's before feminized. And the genetics were stellar. I believe the weed was stronger then.
Yeah.
You could smoke the
I
weed and you would
think
trip out.
so,
There's been a
because
time.
you don't get like years ago, like yous used to blaze just as like as much.
Yeah,
Well, you'd smoke a joint and then you'd be in the couch.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what the picture was, and whereas now you smoke a joint and you like do loads of shit.
Yeah.
But I
You know
tried
what I
to,
mean? And you're like,
I wing myself off it now and again to get
yeah,
that high.
You need the little,
I want to feel the high
I've
again. you
done
know.
that tolerance break, but after 2 days, your tolerance back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot for just that 2 days of fucking.
Usually after a long flight, my
yeah.
tolerance is down. The first joint knocks me out, but then an hour later, like we're back at it
Is
again.
it
You know,
me?
I don't know. Something happened to one of the mics there.
Oh.
It just went a bit.
just went a bit dead. Think it jumped onto
Is
your
it
mic.
meant to be touching?
Maybe not.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, just.
I feel like it's my earphone. Or is that one
No, I don't know. It could be my one. I don't know.
But the original stuff like came from these guys, Neville and all that, and now it developed into what it is today.
Yeah.
So the new genetics, like imagine the Americans used to come over here, buy those seeds and take them back. And you weren't
Yeah.
allowed to send seeds over to America, and then they start doing their own thing. But over there they had their own strains like the OG Kush.
Yeah.
That was like in California, held amongst like a bunch of like I suppose cartel families, all these Mexican crews. And they would keep that as their money.
Yeah.
That OG Kush was only within the family. They wouldn't leak it out to anyone.
It's like currency.
Yeah,
like, in a
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Wow,
Then there's a story from the DNA genetics. You know these guys?
I've heard the DNA,
They
yeah.
really broke through again another level because it was like the White Widow era and Power Plant and Northern Lights, and that was the name of the game back then.
Yeah.
DNA came around and they realized, hey man, we can grow way better weed than this stuff in Cali. So they came out here and started working with genetics, and they have this famous one called LA Confidential.
I've heard of it.
So that clone came around to them, it was the Affy. And this was again with these families keeping it tight. So it was a secret that they were getting it, and they didn't want it to be said it was the Affy.
Okay.
So they ended up calling it LA Confidential because the movie was a big thing at the time.
Yeah.
So the boys came out here and started rocking with that. And in the beginning, they were growing stuff like just here and there and finding their way around. They originally
Yeah.
worked in the Flying Pig.
Okay.
So they kind of stumbled into it, and their company started taking off. They had this strain called Chocolope. Have you ever had that?
Chocolope? I remember that from the tourist days.
Yeah, that was something special. And between their Chocolope, their LA Confidential, they really changed the game. Now there was also, the TH seeds. They were around with their Sage. Sage
Don't
is
know that one.
that's one of my favorite weeds.
Oh, yeah?
It's the strongest weeds
Sage.
ever. Yeah,
Isn't that like the sour OG?
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm not into that.
yeah. I
We
had
got
it before.
that from it's a coffee shop 33 or something. It's over by Jordan, across the bridge from Relax. of
I wouldn't know that far out.
123.
Well, 137.
That's it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
They
in,
had this there. Oh, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, but again, it's like it goes through.
But I like
Again,
those
it's
too.
that grow of it was weird. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You can't
Yeah.
judge a strain by.
Yeah.
It's hard to judge strains at
No,
all.
but
You know what I
anytime
mean?
I've had
It's-
a sour of that, I'm a bit
Well,
not
like
mad for
the
that.
sours from the East Coast, like in New York,
Yeah.
and over there, they are very proud of that. And apparently, like we
Sorry.
don't even get the real deal of it out here. We get a version of the sour
Okay,
diesel.
yeah.
Okay.
But when you go to New York, you get that real sour diesel. It's super special. And it's like an
Yeah.
OG. So like it's kind of our kind of smoke.
Yeah.
But you know, we're looking for those heavy hitters for the dose. But what I want is
Yeah.
that hit in the head and like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm there. You know, I'm
when
happy.
you feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
warm
yeah, yeah.
cheeks, all
Yeah,
of that, yeah.
Yeah,
Sledgehammer.
No,
or if
me
I smoke
too.
like a haze, I just get frustrated with them because they don't do it for
I
me
find
anymore.
the haze are an empty high. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I smoke
It's
for
an
ages and I'm
open
like, am I any different? You know what I mean? Then you smoke an indica and you just feel it through
Yeah.
the body. You
That's
know
the
what I mean?
CBD there that
Yeah,
goes. No,
that's-
man, for real. That's
yeah.
the CBD, like filling up the.
The
Yeah.
endocannabinoid
Yeah.
So
system.
does the
Yeah.
sativa have less CBD?
No, it's the
Yeah.
sativa like does that THC effect. It's for the brain. It's a brain effect. So it's a
Yeah.
brain high. The CBD gives you that body high. So you get high in the brain because you got high THC in your Kush, in your indica, but you get also that body relaxant, which that's what we try for.
Yeah, it
like-
neutralizes it more.
Yeah, like somehow we want to, and because if you only have the brain high, it's just, eventually we get too high.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's it.
That drives people mad and shit. Like
Yeah,
that,
I mean, I remember me
Easy.
back in the days, I was getting like, oh wow, this is a bit too much. Like,
Yeah.
and Kush, like indica is really a different smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
very-
beautiful.
Well, you find it with Tangy as well. Like Tangy, the real deal, that's got a little bit of CBD in there. So it's a little kicker once you're smoking it. That's like, I'm not a fan of Tangy. It's like not really my flavour, but I've got friends that love that stuff. You know,
Yeah,
they're
it's a
really
strong
into it.
taste. I wouldn't be into it either.
Yeah.
It's sweet or something. I don't know what it is. but
Yeah, it
it's not
dominates.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That ODV3. Do you remember that one?
That's from a friend of mine,
I
Jack
remember
Hoover.
I remember smelling that and go, I'm either going to love this or hate it. Bought a gram. I was like, no, not for me.
Yeah?
That's too strong of a sweet.
Very
tangy.
popular. That's why
Yeah, no,
ladies sativa.
again, if you're into that flavour, you're getting a lot of flavour there.
Yeah.
But if you don't like that flavour, you're getting a lot of bad flavour there. You
Well,
know what
I've
I mean?
got my strain.
That's same with Shoreline.
Yeah.
I feel the same with Shoreline.
Yeah.
If you like Shoreline, you're going to love Shoreline.
Yeah.
But I hate Shoreline.
Yeah,
It's
but-
You do?
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh.
I
I
overdosed.
remember for a while everything felt like it was crossed with Shoreline. Everything I tasted had a Shoreline kick, and I was
Yeah.
like, get this out
It's like
here.
a fish, a fish
it's
smell.
So there could be
It stays.
3% Shoreline, and I'm tasting Shoreline.
Yeah,
in
it's
that
very
strain.
dominant.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, it's, you know, I mean, same with haze. I don't like whatever the common taste is in haze. I don't like that either.
Yeah.
That sweet something, but
But
Shoreline and haze are up there with two of my.
But
least.
Shoreline's my baby.
Yeah,
bro.
no. But I love Rolex.
I
I love Rolex. You know what I mean? On the other side of it.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Let's go
Yeah.
back to the Rolex.
Did you ever
Yeah.
try the OG Rican? Did you ever get that?
I've
that
got
was
it.
great.
I've
That-
got it from a
that
few
was-
places. I remember it was in New Times for a while. They
Yeah.
had it in the
Wada-
little
Wada.
jars in there. They were doing. I remember they were doing like 5 jars for €35 one stage during lockdown when everything was cheap.
Okay.
Going in, at my room had about 50 jars in it at one stage.
Yeah.
I was like, take it out of the jars. I don't want your little jars anymore.
Yeah, they're filling up.
Is wasted on me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it was 8 grams, and you buy 5, and it was like €35 for 5 grams, and it was nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've had it a few times, but again, you can't trust half the strains or the names or that.
Well, there's times where, like, when a strain hits the menu the first time, that's when it's at its greatest moment. So,
Yeah.
like, I'd been working with things, so I had, like, the Shoreline was the big... Casey Jones has got me known, and that came from my
I've
friend
got that
through
before
Canada.
in a few places. I can't remember where, but I've definitely bought Casey.
We put it everywhere.
Johnny's, you wouldn't have been in Johnny's.
Yeah, I knew Johnny's. Yeah.
But that's Amsterdam Genetics.
Yeah,
no?
now they changed it.
Yeah. I think it was Amsterdam Genetics when I would have bought the Casey Jones.
Yeah,
there,
I
so-
went into him before and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
telling him about what I do, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think this is for me." And
Yeah.
like, look, I tell you what, bud, I'll leave some, try it, and then next week he's like, "Yeah, can you come around
No
again?"
way,
Like,
nice.
Yeah, so they're nice people, you know. They were
Yeah,
good.
it's a
around.
nice little shop that as well.
It's
Back in the day, it was a
tiny.
hidden gem.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I lived
yeah.
in Leidseplein. I went down there. They had like 4 or 5 Kushes for €8 or €8.50.
Yeah.
Strawberry Kush, all these little Kushes, and then
But
it went
that's
up
what
to
he was
€9,
about.
€10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everywhere else is 14, €15 for
But
these.
the owner Johnny, he was about the price not being
Yeah,
outrageous.
it was great,
Yeah,
little hidden
yeah,
gem.
Yeah.
You can't smoke in there, obviously, you know.
Yeah,
What I mean? But
yeah.
they used to have the little glass room. Even that's gone now. So
Yeah, but that's the law changing again. And like even when we came with these strains in the day, that Shoreline, when I put that out there,
Yeah.
the story of how I found that was a mad one. So I got gifted a clone from a friend of mine, Logic. We were all here during the High Times Cup.
Yeah.
And one was the white and one was the Shoreline. So he told me, get these things and get them working. I got them rooting, start growing them, and I was doing my plants at the time. And I had this shoreline in the corner, and I was like, the fuck is this thing? Keeps falling over. So as it started to flower, like, oh my God, this is special. And then I got to harvest
So
it.
you'd never tasted or seen it before you got the seeds?
No,
You just
I
grew
got
it?
the clone. I
Oh,
got the clone.
sorry.
Yeah. So the
And just
clone was
grew it.
gifted. Grew it out, and I didn't know what it was, and I was trying to figure out, what is this thing? It smells gorgeous, and I flowering it. It was a difficult plant, and then when I harvest dried it, I got my day to smoke it. And I go into the car, and it's snowing like hell here, and there's a big line of traffic, and I roll up the joint. I have to go into town, so I'm in the car, and I light up the joint. First talk, like, oh my God.
Never
this
tasted
is-
anything like
yeah.
it.
So then I
Heavy.
see that, like, in the wing mirror, and getting paranoid. There's this black dude, and he's walking through the snow, and he's trekking through, going. I'm like, no way, he's not smelling that. He's way, way down,
Yeah.
no way. And then he keeps tracking up through the snow, and traffic's going nowhere. And he comes up at the end, he looks over me like, hey, younger. I'm like, yeah? He said, are you smoking weed? I'm like, yeah. So I could smell it all the ways down there. I'm like, no way.
Nice.
So he came over, and he said, I gave him the joint. He took a few talks, like, oh my God, oh, this is amazing. What the fuck is this? He said, that's shoreline. And the traffic started moving, and I just went with it, like, that's it, that's the strain. And then I had a good run of it, and I brought
You
it.
didn't know the name?
No, I knew the name.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was told the name. One genetic was the white, and one was the shoreline, and I identified them at this point. So then I just drove down the road, and I got a good run of it together, and I brought it to the place, the area, and put it down there, and I didn't know how the people are going to react, because no one knows this thing.
Yeah.
So I left it a few weeks. I didn't go around there, and I go in there one of the days, like, so how's that thing going? The guy was like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, okay, it's not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And then they opened the door, and a flood of people came in, and everyone, shoreline.
While you were there?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
Nice.
I was like,
Pat on
yes,
the
man.
back.
I said, why didn't you tell me? He said, yeah, I was afraid you were going to ask for more money. I said,
That's
okay,
hilarious.
you know, but it took off like that, bro, and that was the
Yeah.
first runs of it. So the flavour was solid then, because it was
Yeah.
done by the one person, the same person,
Yeah.
and
The
someone who loved
passion
it.
shows.
Yeah,
Passion
yeah.
shows,
So,
really,
and I was
yeah.
obsessed with it, you know, like I was growing back in Ireland and Kerry, from a small town there.
Yeah.
Then I ended up coming out here working at the Cannabis College, and I got to know all my stuff there, as well as the Hash Marijuana Museum.
So that's where you first went to when you moved over.
Well, no, not where I
Yeah.
first went. I came here like everyone. I worked in a hostel,
Yeah.
the Flying Pig. It was just too
Lot of
wild for me.
people's origin
Yeah.
story.
Too wild, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, when people ask me why are you here, I'm like, I'm here for weed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know?
literally my answer to everyone.
Yeah.
Why did you come here? And I just hold up my joint.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? The people laugh and go,
Yeah, I
like,
get
you
mocked
have to
at.
be here for a better reason. I'm like, I'm not. I don't want to be treated like a criminal. I enjoy smoking weed.
Yeah.
I came to somewhere I can have a social life. I can go wherever I want, smoke where I want. You
Yeah,
know
the
what I mean?
freedom of it.
The freedom,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
To,
yeah.
like, to be around other people instead of being the stoner of the group, to be in a group of stoners. You know what I mean? That's what I'd rather, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's, I came here for the weed.
But
Definitely. you know what
I
mean?
had it years ago where I was here, and one of the locals, he asked me, we called him Hazy Dave, and I was in the Nescafe having a beer, we're on our own, and Dave was like, so what brings you here, Dara? I'm like, weed. He looks at me like, yeah, what's that mean? I said, well, actually, I came here to develop a seed company and probably win a Cannabis Cup. And the dude kind of laughed at me. I thought, fucking asshole. And then about 3-4 years later, I won first place with the Cannabis Cup for Rolex. I remember getting up on stage. I meet Don from DNA. And he's like, bro, well done. You've done something we could never do. And then I'm getting up towards the stage, and Hazy Dave jumps in front of me. He's like, brother, well done. I'm sorry I ever doubted you that day in the
nice.
bar. And he said, you've done something amazing that no one else I know has done. And for me, that was super cool.
I don't remember-
100%.
I don't
You're
remember
coming
much
from Where
else.
we come
Yeah.
from,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You've made
Like,
it
if
like
you
a
told-
milestone for a lot of
If
people.
you told people in Kerry you were going over to win Cannabis Cups, they'd laugh.
they'd
Yeah,
laugh at you.
yeah,
Use
yeah,
your
yeah,
man.
yeah. So it was like, it's surreal
Well
that I
done.
ended up going there, and then afterwards, I thought by getting to that level, all the doors of opportunity
Yeah.
would open.
You
You
still
shut
got-
them
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Now I'm their competition, and I'm seen as an
Oh,
enemy.
yeah.
I'm like, come
You're
on.
not some like
Yeah.
energy there for them.
Yeah, so they sort of felt threatened, but like I did well. I mean, I've
Yeah.
done well for the last few years around here, and I liked it. It's a great scene. I've been traveled the world. I was living in Hollywood at one point. That was
Nice.
amazing.
Nice.
And you know, got the license out there to have weed legally. All I want to do is like have weed legal.
Yeah, yeah. of
And
course,
here I
that's the
feel
dream.
free. It's like you say, I feel like I can light up a joint, walk around.
Yeah.
Well, now it's a little different.
Yeah, a
but
little bit, but
yeah.
even at that. you
yeah,
know
it's
what
got
I
a
mean?
magic here that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't find that in Barcelona or Thailand
No.
or anywhere.
No.
There's something
It's
about
just-
It's a
here.
calm.
You get
to
away
it.
with
Yeah.
so much
It
here.
really
Even
is. It changes the
even
mind.
just other stuff. You can just once you're not being an asshole, you can do what you want here.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
it's
Like,
the rule from Amsterdam.
yeah, the police aren't out to get you here like they are at home.
Yeah,
what I
but you
mean?
know,
They're,
back at home there's fighting and violence
Oh,
and so on.
man.
I'm not that guy. I
like
just,
when,
you
when
know.
you see people out drinking
always
on a
the
bench,
booze,
yeah,
yeah.
you see
Yeah.
them drinking on a bench here, and like just the locals having a nice beer.
Yeah.
If that was at home, be a slab of drink, a crate of cans, you know what I mean, a fucking music, the whole lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be there for the night, noise, fight,
Gets
and everything.
messy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And it's the same here when they're saying, "Oh, we want to keep like the Brits or the Irish away with the tourists."
Yeah.
That's more.
The
They're not
drinkers.
splitting. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not splitting the cannabis scene
They're-
from the
they're just
alcohol
Yeah.
scene.
tearing
There's
them all
cunts
with
that
the one
see
brush,
this as
like-
like
Yeah.
Disneyland.
yeah.
You know what I mean? A mini Las Vegas, and they're like, everything's legal.
Like-
no, it's not.
But I do
First
see
human.
when fellas show up here and they don't know nothing about it and they
Yeah.
shit themselves and like, oh my god,
Yeah.
look, we got
Everything.
prostitutes, you
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
magic mushrooms.
Yeah,
you
no,
can-
it does
Yeah.
seem
Yeah.
like too good
It
to be
is.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It still is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we
yeah.
do
When you see
enjoy
other
it, but-
countries with restrictions on everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here, just so much freedom.
But
It's
even
mental.
even I didn't know it still happened. A friend of mine met last night. He came over to me and said, "Oh, I got myself a junkie bike." And I'm like, "Oh, they still do that."
Yeah,
So
oh, that's,
the
man.
bikes get stolen here all the time
every day.
Yeah, and late at
Yes.
night you'll pick
Yeah.
up one and
€10,
you know.
€20.
But I've
you
had
know.
friends that come here as tourists and they'll meet a junkie and they say, "Do you want to buy the bike?" Like, why not?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
cycle around and then it
It's
gets
cheaper than a
stolen.
taxi.
Yeah, one of my mates
Yeah.
had 4
Mm.
bikes there a while ago because he just kept, instead of getting a taxi, someone goes, "Do you want a bike? Tenner."
Yeah.
Cycle home. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
even lock it because who gives a fuck? You
Yeah.
know? And it was tenner
Yeah.
trip home. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
then
Yeah,
there's a
we
thing
went
over here you
next,
don't know, but that's a serious violation. It's like you stole a car.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I had one day, one of the girls essentially, she was coming to work and she got stopped at a control and they ran the
I
number
heard
and she
that
got
now.
arrested for 3 days because, and the bike was stolen like 15 years earlier. She only lived here 3 years.
Yeah.
Being in possession of stolen
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
No, I've
yeah.
thought of that, doing a little scratch, but you don't know where it is on the bike.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends. Like that's the serial
Yeah.
number, and as well, it's
Yeah, I
like
think I have a decent
it isn't
look out
often the
there.
cops are doing that around
No.
here. But you
I
know,
went through one checkpoint here, and that was on a bicycle.
okay,
It was so mad. In Ireland, you're just in your car.
Yeah.
You're on a bike, you just get pushed through.
Yeah.
yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
off me.
yeah.
There's only
Here.
one person on their bike in Ireland
Yeah.
usually.
But that's what's unique as well. I love this city for that. You can
Yeah.
Yeah,
bicycle
it's a beautiful-
anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know I was down Barcelona? You can bike around there, but that's a big city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you
a
do
bit
go to the
dangerous,
clubs
yeah.
there, you're going from one area to the other area. It's so long to take you
Yeah.
go around,
Yeah.
you know. And the police are not friendly down there. If they catch you
No.
with weed there, you're looking at an €800 fine.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Been to Barcelona twice and walked around with a joint in my hand.
So do we.
I thought because it was coffee shop, because
Yeah.
it was grand.
That's what they prey
But
on
I
as well.
think the obliviousness keeps you chill.
Yeah.
We're just like, there's like me, my brother, and his girlfriend. 3 of us like heavy stoners when we went.
But
No
there's areas
idea.
there where you can smoke by the university. Well, you can
But
kind
we
of
were in the
smoke. There's
full- in
skateboarders.
the park, the main streets, everything down the Ramblas,
Yeah.
everything.
But I had
no idea.
I had a friend, he was walking down there and he had a joint at the end of the joint just in his hand.
Yeah.
And 2 normal guys pulled up in their bicycles and they were undercover and they gave him a warning, but they gave him I think they gave him a small fine. They could have given him something
Yeah.
bigger.
No way.
Yeah, it wasn't lit or anything, he just forgot himself, and this again, they're very on it there. You don't get
Yeah.
that here.
No.
No.
You know, it's not like
They're
that.
not
Like if they
ours.
wanted to find people, they could be all day making
Yeah.
a fucking fortune. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
them in.
yeah, yeah. So they give you the bicycle fines for the lights in the winter and stuff. They
Yeah,
make
that's
money
it.
there.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I have to say, I did get lights given to me.
yeah.
At one checkpoint, yeah.
Oh,
went
yeah?
through. Didn't know about the lights rule. I was only here a few weeks.
But again, no one gives you a handbook when you come to Amsterdam. Here are the
No,
rules.
and they fucking
Yeah.
Just do
should.
this,
There's
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah,
bleeding
lot of
rules
mad
here with a
rules.
lot of fines to
I
follow.
think there's a lot of
like,
freedom, but a lot of weird rules as well.
But I
you
had
know.
I was driving on scooter in my early days here, riding around scooter. I loved it. I saw so much of the city. I pulled around the corner one day, smoking a joint. There was a cop in front of me, like, hey man. He said, you know you can't smoke and drive. No one gave me a
No,
rule
I
book
didn't
telling me
know
that.
that.
Yeah.
And he just laughed. He said, well, I'm telling you now that
Yeah.
you can't smoke and drive. I'm like, okay. And I put the joint out and I drove on, and I don't know, maybe a half hour later I was smoking a joint again, driving around.
Yeah.
Nowadays I wouldn't do that on the scooter because
Yeah.
they're a little more thick about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And you could lose your license. And, you know, back in the day here it was so easy and loose. And, you know, it goes from time to time, it changes.
Yeah.
Everyone you meet will say 10 years ago was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's
You know what I
it,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
You've always missed the heyday, like.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's still a
I
great
think we
city.
did, though.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it is. We're
I
blessed
caught
with
I
it.
caught the Green Mile. I caught the Varmint Strat with all the coffee shops. So I seen it close enough to its best.
Yeah, but it's strange for me to walk down there now and they're not there.
Oh man, it's weird. They're talking about trying to get rid of the bars being smoking there.
Yeah.
So it's just a drinking street then, and like it won't survive like
But
that.
that
you
wouldn't
know?
make
I
it like
know,
anywhere
just-
else. You know, that's
like-
the thing.
But
That,
it's
I
not,
mean,
it's not even busy enough
dirtier.
now as a drinking / smoking street.
yeah,
Take away smoking, you've lost half your custom. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably more.
yeah.
So I don't understand what they're like. I don't know. That was their main street. That was to me. That was Amsterdam, Farmerstraat.
Like I heard you
know what
say when you would turn into it by the.
Yeah, you come in by the grasshopper and
that
down
was-
that little street.
that
and
was
then onto the
Amsterdam.
road. That was it. The
Yeah.
entrance to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
Disney World.
That
coming
was
into
literally
it.
coming in
Yeah.
the gate to Disneyland. you know what I mean?
yeah.
Left
loved
or
it.
right, you've coffee shops either way.
Yeah.
Up here, turn the corner, you've got fucking hookers and all. It's
And it was always busy. Whereas
Always.
now we just came down through there and there's all these windows that are for rent and it's not like there's no buzz like
oh
it
no,
was.
no.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
they got rid of half the windows. All the ones beside the Bulldog are gone.
Yeah.
They're not windows anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just the canal now, just that one canal.
Yeah,
like
so it's
pretty
just a
much-
tourist attraction now.
just pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still wanting to move that as well. They want to put it all up the NDSM.
I've heard these plans and all that,
Yeah.
but it's the sad thing. It's been there so long. The weed hasn't been around here that long compared to that.
Yeah, no, that's here even
yeah,
longer. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. So it's
The
like-
world's oldest profession, as they say.
yeah. But it's again, I love when my friends come here and we'd walk around that red
Oh,
light
you have
and
to
they
show them.
I
Even
brought-
the women want to see it as much. You know
I
what
brought
mean?
my old man
Why
there.
not?
Yeah.
Because it's not as taboo.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I
As
mean?
they pay taxes.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
they're
Them
working.
women fucking work. They're hustlers. They
Yeah.
keep everyone safe.
So
honestly,
it was
I
always a
respect
wild
them.
thing when you come here and you
Yeah.
say, show your friends, look at this. And then there's the whole, the magic mushroom experience that was wild when it was mushrooms.
Yeah.
Now it's truffles. But you know, it was like when before they changed laws, they did things like this. Like right now, medibles are a big thing.
Yeah.
They used to have a coffee shop, I think it was called Chocolate, and it used to only do medibles.
Oh, yeah?
But the thing is with those medibles here in Amsterdam, they're strict because the tourists get so sick after them.
Yeah.
And they fuck up. Like one day, a friend of mine, he like eating a medible, felt way too high. Next thing we looked back and he was in the back of an ambulance. And the guy is there like, what did you take? What did you take?
But
And
he just needed sugar.
No, we told him that like, yeah, he took an edible and went wrong. And the guy had a silver blanket around him. They pulled the blanket off him and kicked him out. Like,
Yeah,
so
once
get
they
out-
hear it's weed, they're
Yeah.
like, stop wasting my time.
Yeah,
I'll get
yeah,
the fuck
yeah,
out of
yeah,
here."
But
yeah.
because I think people, again, nearly a rule book. They're uneducated when
Yeah,
they come in.
big time.
People think your blood pressure drops and all
Oh,
that.
like
Yeah.
pulling the
And they're
white
like-
is scary to someone who hasn't
Yeah.
seen it. Their friend
Yeah.
is now on the floor, maybe convulsing and all.
Yeah.
But that I always walk over so calmly with an AA and a
Yeah.
dextro, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Sugar drink, sugar tablet. I'll be like, they're grand, this happens all the time, and they're like,
Get it
oh,
into-
they're dead
It's
or
fre-
something.
freaks you
know?
out, yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
you
go
could-
wake them up, give them a little slap in the face, wake them up, and they always come through and like, oh, sorry. You know
But
what I
you
mean?
can see it happening in
Oh
person.
man,
Yeah.
we've watched people. I remember one time we were watching a guy go out the door, and my colleague goes to me, follow him, and I walked, and as soon as the air hit him, he dropped. But I'm standing behind him with
Yeah.
my arms out,
Yeah.
and he just fell into my
Yeah,
arms. and
like a
blood
pillow.
was- Yeah, like there's times you see it, and people come up and they go, "Can I have a water?" I go, "You need a sugar drink," and next thing the hands will clamp onto the bar or something, and
Yeah.
they're just like that. You're just trying to get them down onto the sea.
Yeah, but it's
The
horrible. That's a
vibrators.
public whitey. I might be at home and
Yeah.
get a whitey
Yeah,
and crawl
yeah.
to bed,
Yeah, you
and
get
no one
buzzed.
sees me.
Yeah.
But when you're in a public space and you come out out,
Yeah.
like it's very
I
embarrassing.
was saying to my friend today, I'd love to document it from watching somebody go and record it
Yeah.
to the whole but just for
The
people to
experience.
see.
Yeah.
Because like I've had doctors in there that are like, what's happening to him? It's like, all you
Yeah.
need is sugar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like,
Hmm.
no, we'll ring the ambulance. It's like, trust
But
me.
you don't look well when your
Yeah.
blood has gone
Oh no,
off
they're
you.
white.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people are showing up. Some people, I've seen people convulse and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But a bit of sugar,
I bet
most
you should.
90%
It
of
brings
the people, 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
colour in their face, are sitting there going, sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could have been puking all over themselves 5 minutes ago.
Your grandpa.
But
Yeah.
I know they regulate those edibles because there was too many tourists getting wiped from. Like they
Yeah.
come to the cops and like, what
Yeah.
happened here? Edible,
Yeah.
edible. So the cops after a while like, no more of this.
That's why they
And
charge
I
you
was
to
like,
call an
you
ambulance.
used to
Yeah.
hear loads of mad stories.
Yeah,
And then when I moved here, because it was during lockdown, he used to come back to his gaff with a load of like the leftover
Yeah,
edibles.
the edibles weren't
And
selling, so
we-
I'd have extra ones in the
Oh,
shop
nice.
and they'd bring them home.
Yeah.
Man, we'd like mail like what, like between
Oh.
like 20 muffins.
Yeah, just
Like,
milling them and feel
I was
nothing like.
this
Yeah.
is-
That's because we smoke a lot.
Yeah,
like
that's
it's-
it, man.
I'm
I need
still
1,000
only-
milligrams just
Yeah.
to feel something.
but
like
that's
Yeah.
why they have them watered down as well. Because like, you know, if you're in a coffee shop and someone walks in and say, "Can I get an edible?" You're
Yeah.
like, you're probably like someone
No,
never
in
smoked.
my shop there's 0.3 and that's for beginners, and I tell people this is for beginners.
Yeah.
Like most people are wanting them lighter. I'm not trying to trick people into going, these are strong. These
Yeah.
are I'm telling people these won't do much. People are like, do you have them lighter? I'm like, just eat less. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to sell lighter stuff more than trick people into buying this is the best stuff around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that many newbies come into my shop. It's more what's your lightest. I really don't want. Like I go, you mightn't feel it's like perfect.
Yeah, but you
know
know,
what I mean? Like
people can get tricked up here and go into one of those tourist
I
shops.
tell everyone if you go into a tourist shop, it's fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything in there is fake, and there are people there eating their cookies like, What? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, there's nothing in that.
But
Maybe CBD.
There's
if you're lucky.
placebo with people. That
Yeah,
do.
I'd say there's a lot of placebo highs
Yeah.
in this city.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
a lot of placebo highs.
Yeah, and they're just trying to make a sale.
Yeah,
these
if they
guys.
enjoy it, fuck it, you know
But
what I mean?
I have to say, we were at Mary Jane Berlin, just gone, and there was
You
one
were
of
there?
yeah.
He was there.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
Yeah, but this is why I'm wondering now, because you just said Mary Jane Berlin. I'm like, okay, maybe did we?
You must have met.
You haven't seen my
Come back to us.
you haven't seen my product
I-
there? Like maybe you did.
I must have. There was so much going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it's
And
very
do you know
busy
what?
there.
There's a lot of there. The HHC.
Oh, that's
There
yeah.
was so much stuff.
And they even had
That's
uh,
hype.
They're
It's
the
all
new
hype.
one,
Yeah.
THCP.
Not for- yeah.
THCP?
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
that's the new one now. The HHC is about to be like completely not legal everywhere. So now they
Yeah,
are on to
cool.
the new fake like
Is-
molecule whatever.
Is this the
which is
Delta 8 stuff, or I don't know what
It's
that
like
is?
no, this is another
synthetic, like-
whatever THCP. That's just the name of it. You know me, I don't know nothing. about
Yeah.
this new thing.
Hetero.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I stick
yeah.
to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
yeah,
I saw a
but that
lot
show
of
was
that
great,
there.
huh?
It was honestly savage event.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
good
yeah,
event.
yeah.
Were
The
you at
energy.
Spanibus?
No, I didn't go to there.
Spanibus
But I
is
heard-
great.
I've never been.
Oh
Yeah.
I wanna
man,
go.
it's definitely
The
worth
energy.
it.
I was
Yeah.
selling some chocolate actually on my stand there. You haven't eat some chocolate there?
There
I
was
don't
so
think
much.
So, because do you know what? When it was closing up, like we were there the whole weekend, I walked down one and I didn't even see the clipper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that yoke. So yeah, no, I think I missed a few.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we were back with the Jack Era Cup, so I was in the back a lot running.
But was it
around.
your first
All right.
convention that you were at?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would have been my first big convention.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, how many of them are on in Europe, Anton? List them. You know them off by
yeah.
heart.
Well,
Because there's a lot of it.
There's probably around 10, 15 shows. Like if you take all the small shows everywhere, like maybe
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah,
And now
Yeah.
the main shows, like the one to go to, there's maybe like 6.
Product
maybe
Art was
maybe
just
yeah, maybe 7 tops.
Yeah.
So Spanabis is definitely the main one.
Yeah.
Mary Jane Berlin, Canna Trade in Switzerland,
Nice.
Cannafest in Prague, Czech Republic.
that's good.
Say
That's,
that'd be
a,
nice.
that's
yeah.
a good one. Product Earth in the UK.
Yeah,
The
that was just happened.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Autopod show. That's only a business show, but it's a great show.
Yeah, because they
Nice.
separate the seeds and the grown from the
Yeah.
equipment.
It's like a
Nice,
hydro.
yeah.
It's an hydro show basically.
Yeah,
like
okay,
for-
nice.
That's cool though. So if you're there for that. Because like I was getting spoken to about like now beautiful equipment, but for like growing. And I was
You
like,
were no
Yeah, it's
I'm-
more for the industry.
Like, I was, but I was also like, I'm kind of wasting this cunt's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple of growers could
Yeah,
walk by.
it's interesting, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not going to
yeah.
be investing in his product.
No,
and all this.
you know, can't. You know what I mean? There's no space, nothing. Whereas the
Yeah, well,
so
well,
that's nice to kind of even give the different sections.
as we are
which is
grower,
brilliant.
we like to look at different all the side of the expo. We can look new product, what comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
We look at nutrients.
Yeah.
We look at seeds. We look at CBD product on my side, like to check what's going on.
If I have the
Yeah.
money, I'm going to buy the next thing. I'm always like that. I'm like
Yeah.
a kid. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If-
I did see, and it stays in my mind because this is the guy that I picture like wasted 15 minutes. I was like, I don't grow, man. But I just felt bad. It was the first guy. But it was a light system that basically had water running through it too. So it's actually cooling it as well. No.
Yeah, that seems
No.
that
Okay.
seems difficult
No,
to
like-
use and
No,
maintain.
No, but it was very small.
I bet it looks
Oh.
great.
Like, okay,
Yeah, but water and electricity don't go well together. you
No.
know?
No, but I
Yeah.
thought the science behind it was quite smart to keep the cooling
No,
down.
with the
Okay, no.
science of lighting has gone advanced
Yeah.
now. Now we've got LED technology.
Yeah.
Psst.
Yeah,
That
which
way.
is very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually
It's
have a
level.
problem because it's not warm enough. We are used to the HPAs. They warm up and
High pressure sodium.
dry the
Yeah,
room.
it's proper.
With the LED, we need to like adjust the.
You need a heater in
Yeah.
the room.
We need to
wait,
adjust
trying
all
to
the system.
like
We can
get it out.
reduce the ventilation also
Yeah.
because we need less air movement. It's less hot in the room. So yeah, we can change a lot
I
of things.
suppose, yeah, it changes a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's a benefit. It's
And,
like great.
and the
Yeah.
plants,
Yeah.
they drink less also. So we have to also adjust the watering of the plants. That's all the factors are being
Okay.
involved. There.
Yeah, just
So
making
a
adjustments.
lot of grows
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
got messed up, I'd say, with the change.
Not
over.
really. It's just if
Or
you're willing to
learning.
learn, you
Yeah,
know,
no,
or if
big
you're
time,
someone
no
that does
passion.
amnesia haze, you think you're the best grower in the world and you're
Yeah.
not. And then if you're someone like us, like we'd be going, the Rolex OG is a great plant to do. But if you fuck it up, you
Yeah.
won't get a great return. You have to be spot on with it, you know, to get a
Yeah.
good clean smoke out of it.
Nice though.
And that's the passion that we have. And then it goes on to the consumer. I want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
I want them to blaze that stuff and come back for more. That makes me
Yeah.
feel good. But honestly, I do all of this because I want to smoke.
Yeah.
Nice
That's the
though, but
reason I do.
That's the right way to be behind it.
Well, many people are there for the money, and
Yeah.
the money can be good and nice, but it's not really. If you're in it for that, you're not
Yeah.
going to go very
No.
far.
No.
You know, and I'm
Your
here for the
product will
long
be-
term.
It'll
Yeah.
be more fucking what's the quantity over quality.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
There's a lot, like I even, when I was at the fair, because like, I'd be standing around, there's all like the men having the chats, and they're like, yeah, like we can sell a lot of merchandise.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's all money.
but what
money,
about
money.
the product?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you giving a shit? But they're like, oh, t-shirts, hats. this,"
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, but
That's the
if you're
promotion.
putting out
Yeah.
something like this,
Sell your product first,
yeah.
not your brand.
You
But
know
these
what I mean?
fairs are kind of
Yeah.
like how they said if you go to the Spanibus, that used to drive us crazy when they first started doing. They have these wheels that they spin. What are those things called?
Oh
Antoine?
yeah, the quiz.
And you win a prize. If you're standing next to it and all you hear all day, click, 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 it drives your head crazy, you
Yeah.
know. So we've had things like we go to these events, they're really fun. Especially, and when you go in the beginning, you're so excited. You'll go to the day work, go out that night, party till 4 a.m.,
Yeah.
coming in the next day, and your voice is usually gone after the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
And that,
non-stop talk.
well, that means that you've done well. We would
Yeah.
always come on a Monday, meet up together, like Big Buddha and people like that. And Milo was the worst. His voice would be, "Hey mate, how's it going?" Like, "You did well, yeah, so did I." You know, so we're all like that.
a lot
yeah.
of contact then.
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
It's lovely for that. I honestly, I enjoyed that because there's a lot of people, like even probably like yourselves, I'd heard the name, but I don't know who anyone
Yeah,
is.
but
Putting
this
a
is how I
face to the
meet
brand.
people.
Yeah, it's a really nice
Yeah.
way to meet people.
Socialise,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
And
Mary-
from all levels, I think it kind of breaks down who you are. You
Yeah.
could be a bud tender, you could be a coffee shop owner, you
Yeah.
could be a grower,
Yeah.
anything. You get to meet everyone.
Put them all on the
It's-
same.
Yeah.
On the same field, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
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 for
yeah.
that, it's very nice.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a thing of like once you get to experience these fairs, they are nice. And It's
Yeah.
great to see how the rules are different everywhere. Do you know, like in Austria, they
Mm.
can grow mother plants and do clones legally.
Oh yeah.
You know that?
No.
There's a big scene
'Cause
down
they-
there.
Yeah, I met
'Cause
a
it's an
few
air freshener.
Austrians.
That's what it is. If you put it into flower, you break the law, but you're allowed to have grown plants in
Oh, for
Austria.
fuck's sake,
It's
that's
crazy.
amazing,
Yeah, yeah, but like most of the
So
weed
they
isn't
just
all
can't
that.
see what you do with it.
You're only
Yeah.
breaking the law for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
That's about it.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like a big thing. And again, if you went to the trade fair and you saw, they're like, I didn't know they do this.
They have
Yeah.
big shops
Yeah.
over there, like selling clones by the thousands
Yeah.
every week.
Right.
They have
Yeah.
big mother rooms that you can
Pumping
see
them
and
out.
everything.
That's
Yeah, it's,
amazing.
Because
Yeah.
I met quite a few Austrians
Yeah.
at the Mary Jane one.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
They would have
because I
been
was
up
kinda
because
like,
of that, yeah, promoting their
Wow.
company there, you know, so they're,
Oh,
they're all
that's
like
cool,
that,
okay.
yeah. And then in, what's the name of it again, with Cannafest?
yeah.
Like, where's that again? In
Prague,
yeah,
Czech Republic.
Prague is wild.
Yeah.
Have you
well,
been there?
No.
Yeah.
So they have a smoke scene that you can go into these kind of coffee shops. They're kind of club
I've heard
coffee
something
shops.
about this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty nice, and you got someone sitting in the back in a table like this, and she's got baggies of weed, and they'll sell you for 20. But the rule is like you can walk in there, they'll buzz you in. You can buy your bag of weed, but if you walk out like that, they won't let you in the next day because they want you to sit down, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be running in and out. It's not
Yeah,
a
more
trap
like
house.
the
Yeah.
cannabis clubs,
Yeah,
maybe, like that kind
yeah,
of vibe.
yeah.
Right, I'm trying to
Nice,
interrupt you
though.
there for a while.
Yeah, man.
We're
Oh,
running out
sorry.
of battery and we need to get you
Oh,
to
yeah.
Let's get through it.
So this is our next
Yeah.
segment. This is the smoke wall.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a lighter out each of a different
Yes.
coffee shop.
Yeah.
And if it's got all good strains, good prices, nice place to chill, maybe good drinks like milkshakes and good selection, toasties, game tables, that an extra, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Top shop. If it's got most of this but missing a few, blazing.
Yeah.
Most shops are in solid spot. Nearly everything we've had so far has been in solid spot. It's just the run-the-mill shops. Then if it's missing a few bits and it's just not the best smokable, and then I don't like to go negative because coffee shops, I should be talking to the mic, so I don't like to go negative because like anywhere you could smoke is better than anywhere else in the world, you know what I mean? So the fact that even
It
the
is.
worst shops let you buy weed, smoke weed there, it's still good, you
That's
know
a
what I mean? If
blessing,
that's
yeah.
all we had,
Yeah.
we'd be there every day.
Yeah.
That's
full,
true,
you know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Yeah.
So it's just not for me. We're just blessed with more choices. So
Yeah.
no negativity. It's just the lowest is not for me. So I'm gonna give you the bag, and you can pull out a lighter, and then we'll see what shops we get.
So
Oh,
at random,
is there
just
a-
put my hand in.
Is
pull
there a
that one.
chance I can actually use the lighter I have in my hand?
Depends.
Well, this now is unique.
We've already done it last
Yeah.
week.
No, that's too bad because that's one shop I can tell you a lot about.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can. Oh, okay. So right, give us that.
I know,
lighter.
I like
Which
this. This is a good pick.
So right,
Did you got
this is Lacada
Yeah, okay, that's
I'm
easy.
guessing none of you have been here yet.
No, I haven't been to one here, but I know the original shop. I know what it was about. There.
I was there yesterday at a private birthday. Happy birthday to
Duchess.
the Duchess.
Happy
Sorry, I only met her
birthday.
yesterday. Happy birthday, Duchess. But it was a private event for her, so it only officially opens actually today, the day we're recording.
Nice.
So none of you have obviously been there.
No,
so
I'll probably go up afterwards.
I'm
and
the
say
only one
nice
who can
things.
talk on it. But
I've been to the one in Barcelona, so I could talk about their scene, their vibe, you know that.
I'll do the shop first.
Yeah.
So it's if you've been to Catch 33, you know what it's like. It's a nice little shop.
Yeah.
Still has the bar out front. You go in the back. There's nice leather couches, cushions, tables on the right and the left. Small enough. Their menu's decent. The prices didn't go above €13 for their standard weed.
What strains are on the menu?
What did they have? I seen donkey butter.
Don't know that one.
Fuck, I can't remember what they got now.
Have they got art on the walls and stuff?
Yeah,
They're known
the
for
whole wall is spray painted.
Yeah,
So literally
that's
the
what they
whole
do.
inside, and even their TV. I thought the TV was spray painted, but it's just the same design. So it looks, the TV's in the middle of the wall, but it doesn't break the art.
Cool.
So the screen has the same design on the screen.
Yeah,
as
see,
the
they're
wall.
smart. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it has all this like Barcelona, Amsterdam, all that shit wrote
Yeah.
into it. So yeah, I think it's a bit far out because it's Catch 33. It's up near Wester Park, not far from that.
Yeah.
But they have a nice Cali menu as well. Even that wasn't that expensive. It was around 18, €20 for the Cali and stuff. So,
Yeah. Did they have a hash menu?
You had
usually?
a hash menu, but I don't look at hash, so I'm probably the worst
I'll
person
be
to
coming
have.
down
Okay.
to
Yeah, you can go and check. And
Okay.
we can change it up then if there's nothing else. But
then check
yeah,
that.
only opening today, so it's hilarious that it came out.
But it's one that has to, like how they say it, it's just so new that
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about again with
Yeah,
someone
no,
else.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll
Yeah.
throw it back in just so we can nearly
Yeah.
let other people go to it.
Yeah.
I think they're coming with good energy
Yeah,
anyway.
no,
to
your
the
man
scene.
Well, that's
seems
what they're
good.
like.
Even their coffee shop, when they opened up, I remember hearing they invited loads of other coffee shop owners.
Okay, nice.
They're
Trying to
very
be
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they got
Very
a good
energy.
vibe.
And what's the one in Spain like?
It's like, for me, it's one of the coolest ones because you go in the door, they've got like a rack for your skateboards. I think that's awesome. You
That's
can just
amazing.
hang up your skateboard while
Yeah.
you're in there.
Legends.
And they're laid back, like crazy, easy going there. You feel like you're under no pressure in there.
Nice.
And the staff are super friendly, super
Love it.
gorgeous girls working there as well.
Nice.
And that, I think that draws in some of the clients to that club.
They do that a lot here.
But then their weed is fire, and I used to go there for the Skittles a lot. And man, those guys really, they got it dialed in. When I was going at that
Yeah.
time, and I'm sure the menu changes, but the whole vibe in that place is really solid, and the people are
Yeah.
really good. So
Nice.
I've nothing bad to say about them as far
Yeah.
as their establishment in Spain. It's
Yeah.
top end, and
Yeah.
they just started here, so it's hard to even place them
yeah,
here
no,
now.
it is. It really
You
is.
know,
And
I'd
as,
say if they bring that vibe though here, like
Yeah,
I
they
see them
will.
even bringing in new products to smoke with everything
Yeah.
like student glass.
But they're also in
or-
Thailand as well. They've opened
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
nice.
Which is
yeah,
amazing.
but that's
Yeah.
what, like when I went in, I seen the menu 13. Sometimes that's the bottom of somebody's menu.
Yeah.
And it goes up.
Yeah.
And I started looking down, and the price was going down. I was like, oh, that's unusual. So the fact
Yeah.
that it tops out at 13,
It's
and
nice
it was,
even
I
thinking
can't remember. I should
locals.
have paid attention more to the names. I didn't think they come out
Yeah.
today. So, but there was definitely decent enough strains. There are a lot of new names and these mad names and all this. But
I think their approach
for
is they come to the shop as if, what is it going to be like if I want to buy stuff?
Yeah.
there? That's their
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why it works, you know.
Yeah, of
so
course.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking local. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like honestly, original dampering we clear.
yeah.
Because he thinks very
Yeah,
local
no,
with
they
his
have-
prices. He
they
has
have-
good quality stuff. His prices always never changes.
yeah, it's one of my favorite ones
Yeah,
as
it
well.
is.
I
It
love
is
it.
great,
Bang
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Love his stuff.
Right, I'm going to put it between Solid Spot and Blazing because it is a nice little spot. It's comfy out the back. It has
Yeah.
a good price menu. It's only new, so I might even put it back in the bag and we'll do it again.
Yeah,
another
you'll
have
to.
time and
Yeah.
stuff and
Love
see
it.
what
Yeah,
crack
yeah.
is.
Check out the hash.
So
No.
pass it along there.
Do a draw
So just grab it.
I do a draw, but maybe I'll.
Yeah, you can talk about that as well.
Yeah, so do
Where
this.
the
do this
battery,
first.
we've talked a lot, so the battery's going to be pushing us.
Oh
for
no, I
time.
cannot. I'm sorry. Like I cannot talk about this one because this one is literally the competition of the one I want to talk about.
Oh, come on.
No, like man,
You got
I
it.
cannot talk about.
Yes, you
I,
do.
I cannot
Oh.
talk about.
Yes, you do.
Okay. I can tell you something.
Faster.
I have never like on my own step a foot in that coffee shop.
Yeah.
Because
Well, wait, you've been to Barcelona, Strain Hunter, sir.
Yeah,
Oh,
but no, we're
it's your
not there.
favourite
It's
place.
Amsterdam based.
okay,
No,
right,
but-
don't talk about Barcelona. It's not my fault
I've
if
been-
Derry is slow to make a nice Barney's social club in Barcelona. you know?
No, I don't think it'll happen. But
No,
I
I don't
know
think so.
I've been to that Strain Hunter shop here, and I know before it was Strain Hunter. So what they've done to that place is smart.
Yeah, no, it's
Is
a
this
beautiful
the one
little
down
shop
on the corner.
on the very corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in there once.
If
I was
you
tripping
can
balls.
sit outside, you have a bench on the front, and
Yeah.
your view is just down one of the streets off
It's
the canal.
great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of the best views.
Even in a rainy day when you're inside, that place is just nice,
it's a
chill.
small little
It's
shop, but
tiny.
It's
Yeah.
the same, and it's the same
Which shop you
menu.
talk about now?
The Strain Hunters.
Hunters.
They have one here.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what we're talking about. That's the one you pulled out. Was
Oh
Yeah,
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 it's,
yeah.
I'm sorry, like
Yeah, yeah.
Greenhouse Coffee Shop. Sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
they're-
yeah.
they're
It
affiliation,
is.
yeah.
It's very similar, and I think maybe they might have a different Cali menu a little
Yeah.
bit. Like
Yeah.
the cookies has a
Yeah.
variation.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to the greenhouse. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, have you been in that one?
I have. I have a friend that was working there, and I go in hanging out, just seeing what's
An
the
Irish
vibe
girl?
like. No, Kyle. He's a
Okay.
fella
No, when I
there,
first went there, there was an Irish girl working there, so I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if you knew her.
Yeah. So it's a nice little vibe, and I just thought I thought that was a good idea. They're putting their brand all over this town,
Yeah.
and how they say it, the main greenhouse, like the one up here.
Yeah.
I don't really go in there because it's too busy all the
Yeah,
time.
no, it is.
Yeah,
Too
it's
much
You know,
tourist
yeah,
place, kind
yeah,
of, you know
yeah.
what I
And
mean?
then, like, originally when I first came here, of course, I went there like as a tourist.
Yeah.
And then the place down in Barcelona, that was the first Strain Hunters Club.
Okay.
That place is great.
That club
Oh,
is
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have
Yeah.
to say definitely.
Super
Okay.
clean.
We always go there. I have
Yeah.
my membership, my little chip
Nice.
card. You know,
Yeah.
I have my
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, and I like as well that down there they have the toilets there. They've got a flower.
Yes.
Do you know of a flower? That's
Yeah.
the female toilets.
Okay.
And then they've got a picture of a male cannabis plant.
Yeah. Okay.
And no one knows that they
I was
can't.
just about to say, I wouldn't know the
No,
difference.
no, but I do. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Jacks.
That's- yeah.
That's where you go.
I
But
want to go
yeah.
check that out.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
nice
genius,
The
yeah.
club,
Can I just go look at your toilet?
Yeah.
the club is really well laid out. It's
Nice.
bigger than the coffee shop they have
Yeah.
here, but they're very friendly, and you
I've
can
been
stay
in
there all
clubs
day.
in Lanzarote, and they were nice over there. So I've never been to Barcelona, but I've seen.
They're
some
all the
cannabis
same.
clubs. Yeah,
But
yeah.
the Strain Hunters put all the money into it before anyone ever did. And
Yeah.
they've been around there
Yeah.
for a while, you know. But
Yeah.
they recently had issues where they shut them down for a brief moment, the cops coming on them. But they're still there and they're still going, and everyone's welcome to go around
Yeah.
there, you know. So, but the little shop that they have here, what it was before was a disaster. So for them
that
to
was
come in.
420 Cafe.
Yeah,
before,
no,
wasn't
was it?
it? I'm nearly sure that was 4.
No, 420 is over here.
I think that was the second 420.
Their second one.
And they had volcanoes and all in there. I'm nearly sure. I used to
Just-
walk past it
I
away from
remember
work.
it was always like dead to me in there compared to now.
But I remember they used to close early because I remember we went to use volcanoes one day and we went at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and they were already closed. Something
Yeah.
mad like that. So I'm nearly 99% sure that Strain Hunters was 420 Cafe before.
Okay. Yeah.
99% sure because they definitely had one near Tway de Karma, and that's at the end of the Tway de Karma lane, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm nearly 99% sure. it
But I
was.
like it for its location now, where it is that people are seeing it walking by. Whereas
Yeah.
before I didn't even notice it.
No, no.
So now it draws me in and like, oh look, there they are. And there's always people in and out.
Yeah,
and
no, it
Yeah.
is.
do you know,
Busy little
I think
spot.
because it's like the smaller place, you get more of that one-to-one with the bud tender,
Yeah.
rather than the place down here. They might treat you a bit
Yeah,
like
no,
an
you're
asshole,
in the
you
queue,
know.
like, come
Yeah.
on, next.
Yeah,
next.
yeah. So it's like, where to gauge it though as well, it'd be like for me.
Well, put it this way, Greenhouse came out last week and it ended up in smokable. So I think it's a bit nicer. It's a nicer version of Greenhouse.
That's the problem, is the weed menu. I'm not 100 on
No,
it. Yeah.
but I think the shop itself and the location and the view and
Yeah.
all it brings it up that little bit. So I think it's a solid spot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think middle
That's
of
what
the
makes
road,
it sort of
you know what I mean?
stand out to the other one. That's got that little bit of, I don't know, coziness that it should
Yeah,
have in
yeah.
the other place. So
It's like a miniature version of that. And
Yeah.
It's got all the best vibes. You still a few of the pictures of the celebrities and all that.
yeah,
up
and
there all.
Franco is the
Yeah.
guy that was Arian's right hand man, and I love the way they've paid tribute to him so much, because that guy, he was like, you never met him, or
No.
he was amazing guy
Oh,
in the
yeah.
industry. He was
Amazing.
friendly with everyone, not biased about anything. You know, he was always the cool guy that would hang out with you. Do you know? And
Nice,
like
though,
he was
with
sound
his
out.
Community.
Yeah, well, first time I ran into him, we were at a High Times Cannabis Cup. They were walking down through the queue of people by the milk fag, and they were handing out bags of silver haze for free.
No way.
And it was the best silver haze I ever had, man. It was fire.
Get
And
you
then
into their shops. So
it got me
Yeah.
talking
You know what
to
I mean?
Franco, and then he realised that I knew what I was on about, and we became friendly, and he was always nice to me. You know, it's
Yeah.
like totally
Yeah.
cool. And then he got malaria on one of the strain hunting expeditions,
Fucking
picked it up,
hell.
and he died very fast, and it was tragic. And
Yeah,
now they
Christ.
still, it was very
'Cause
bad.
Your man Arian,
He was too
isn't
young.
it? He
Yeah.
used to have a show on Vice where they go around the world strain hunting.
Yeah.
That's where it came
Have
from.
you seen it?
I've
I
seen
haven't
bits of it,
watched
I've never
I need
watched
to
it all.
Yeah, there's a
I
bunch
must
of
watch
them.
it,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, there's a load of them. They did Morocco, they did Africa.
And do you know what country he got the malaria in?
In Africa,
Oh,
but
yeah.
what it was, he'd been going up and down there for so many things that, you know, these shots they give you to
Just
fuck
worn
you up.
out.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to get fucked up again. He thought, I haven't gone it this time. It isn't like what you think it is. He thought he had immunity, I suppose. I don't know. But it didn't work out for him, sadly. But how they say, they honour him really good.
No,
Yeah,
respect,
yeah.
doing
So it's
big time.
nice.
He
So
keeps it alive.
well, they've got Franco's cheese because he loved cheese. That
Oh,
was
nice.
his favourite
Ham
strain.
cheese,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And cheese you don't see much anymore.
No, you don't
not
see it that much.
Stinky,
Yeah.
stinky.
Well, I was the one that
cheese,
brought
man.
the Exodus cheese from my friend from Ja Hoover, Lady Sativa Genetics. He gave me
Okay.
this Exodus cut. Do you know what that is?
No.
So back in the day, the guys they're all family, came over here from the UK, from London area,
Yeah, it's
and they
just
bought
mainly
seeds in
beans.
Sensi Smile, Skunk One, one pack and one pack of Northern Lights. And they went back to the UK and they grew out these seeds, and they found the cheese phenotype exploded out there, and they kept that plant alive since 1989 or something.
Okay, now.
Or was it, and I could have those dates wrong now, like Ja would have the right story, but they called it the Exodus cut.
Yeah.
Then there was Big Buddha's cut, which was a hybrid of that, and he brought the cheese back around here. Because in London, that was the thing, cheese was the
Yeah,
big
it's very
wheat.
UK strain.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't lie, I definitely got toast of it
Yeah,
back in Ireland.
Yeah, but
and
I miss
was
it.
fine.
I
Yeah,
miss
you
it
don't
so
get the
much.
original.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so like even like the hot lip and all you get when you smoke, it's proper just like it stinks.
Yeah, but they're the favourite ones. They're the ones that get you in trouble. It's like your
Yeah.
neighbours will
Yeah.
complain like,
Oh,
what
you're
the fuck?
going to smell that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
You want it,
You have to
sorry.
sorry,
We're
I
done.
just keep looking at the battery now.
Yeah.
Eve Ferdy's next.
Yeah, hit me. 'Cause,
I couldn't talk about.
Go on, while she's going.
Quick shout out to Barney's Farm. You know,
Yeah,
God
we
damn
talked
it,
about them last
I
week,
know,
God,
but
it
that's
was
the
a big
only
fun.
Irish owned coffee shop in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You,
Alright.
you worked there as well.
I worked there.
I worked there too.
I know,
I don't know
True.
if.
Well,
I
you
know-
briefly worked
Yeah.
there.
I know the owner.
few
I know the
weeks.
son very well.
Yeah.
I know
He
the
said he
family
did
story, and the place. Like that's where I got started in
Your
Amsterdam.
journey.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
you
journey.
obviously had a better run of it than I did, and Barney's.
Yeah, it's like that there.
Yeah, I worked at the coffee shop, at the farm also, like, you know, and in the
long were you there?
warehouse for 2 years. But like
Wow,
I
that's
was
a long
running
time.
the warehouse for the seeds, so I was running the.
Oh, nice.
the
More
s-
behind the scenes.
Oh.
You were more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
yeah.
working in the warehouse. I did a few shifts in the coffee shop, in the farm,
Yeah.
in the uptown, so I know the whole place. But like I was working mainly for the seeds in the warehouse.
But you have to be a hard
And,
worker, and
yeah.
he's a hard
Oh,
worker.
I'd say
And
so, yeah.
that's Barney's that opened the road to me for the trade fair
fairs.
also.
Okay,
They took me
nice.
to my first Spanabis
Oh, nice.
back in 2010 when I was just
yeah,
here.
they
you know.
promoted themselves big back in the day.
Yeah.
They won a lot
Did
of
you
cups and all.
go? You went with Barney's
Yeah.
or with your brand?
No. I went with Barney's back in the days. I
You
was
didn't have a
21 years old, you know, like
Yeah.
just when I came to Amsterdam, you know.
Sick.
So
I
yeah.
always say that was good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a long story also, but there are.
We'll have to have you back on again because the battery's eating.
No, I
up.
love it, man. This has been great.
Yeah,
It's been
So
no,
nice.
basically, I put Barney's Farm on the top shop, not anymore for the menu because it was years ago, but like still top shop.
A lot
Well,
of
yeah,
people would
I'd
argue.
argue, right, the menu may be top shop back in the day. Now it's not.
No.
They're not that comfortable in their coffee shop because it's just high stills. They do milkshakes and all. So I think the highest you could put them is blazing.
Yeah.
I think we might have been a bit mean to them and put them to solid spot.
That's 'cause of
I might
history.
even move them up in blazing now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're a bit. But fucking yeah, like they're and they're a bit overpriced as well.
They
They're nothing
are.
for the
They
common
are.
man. You know what I mean?
But
For the-
shout out to Derry because he made up something out of that place
Out of
like,
nothing.
since a long time.
Yeah.
And, that place is like it's nice. It's a
Yeah.
high-end coffee shop.
I'd still like to know why I was fired, Derry. That's all I want to know.
I'm sure
He
you
holds
can
a
figure
grudge.
it out. It's just the wrong day, man.
Yeah.
I
They've got
really want to find
What happened?
He
What
just
happened
got
with you and Derry?
nothing.
I don't know. I just literally I worked there for 2 weeks. Then I got an email. You don't work here anymore.
Yeah, that
and I wrote
happens.
back. Why? What happened? No reply. And then I wrote and more.
Do you know the-
Sorry, I've been trying. I'm only new. Blah blah. Can I find out what I did wrong so I don't do it in the next job? No reply again.
Yeah.
So I never found out what happened. There was 2 weeks there. Then just let go for no reason. And
Honestly,
it was doing good. Like
you got it in an easy way because
Yeah.
fellas have walked
But it's
out
it was a
there.
hard working place.
It is.
So like if like stand up straight.
Yeah.
If you're fucking nothing to do, scrub the floors. It was like, you know what I mean, it's not
Most
what
of-
I came here to do.
Most of
either,
the
you know what I
people,
mean?
unfortunately, get fired from Barney's.
Yeah.
I quit.
Okay, you
I
want the
rare. What
Yes,
did you-
I
held
quit
your-
Barney's
held
because
your credibility.
before I got
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah.
Right, Fairy, what did you pick out?
Oh, I
Oh, yeah.
didn't.
Oh shit.
Because I didn't want to keep rust on hash in my hands. Oh.
What we talk about this time.
Yeah, we need to, we're against the clock now.
Yeah, let's wrap this up
Yeah.
actually. Like
Call
because
it
we
a
need
wrap.
to,
Yeah.
we need to
Solo.
Solo.
Coffee shop solo.
I do
wow.
not know this one.
No.
It's
Tell us
just
everything.
around the corner. It's
Our
a little
neighbours.
gem. So Like back in the day.
kind of like Strain Hunters vibe, I think, in a way.
Yeah,
That
it-
cozy corner.
Yeah, no,
I haven't been
but
there
it
in
got
ages.
renovated, and since it got renovated, it's not as cozy as it used to be, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
In a bit.
But they
Not
have
too
that. I haven't been there in a long time. I've been here a while.
Yeah.
So I have to think about like some of these places.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
like-
it's a local shop, and it's good because it won't be one street off the beaten track. It's a bit more quiet.
Yeah.
But they've always got a solid menu. They usually have like their solo kush, just their house kush. It could be oh shit, I bet she's gone.
Sounds good to me.
It could be a kush one day, strawberry banana, whatever. But it's always a tenner.
Yeah.
And just called solo kush. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
good. Yeah, I like
so
that.
it's a house kush, and it was always solid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They do deals on 5 grams and all, so it's a fucking nice little shop. It's a shame that they renovated it and the seats are a bit different, but I think before that I would have had it nearly up blazing, but I think because it's not as comfortable, I think I'd have to go solid spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have a decent bit of hash.
Solid spot
Yeah,
for solo.
it's a-
They have got a good hash
and I
menu
like
as
when
well.
you go in, they'll like
Joe's
tell you.
that bag as well, just while
Oh, yeah.
we're literally did things up. Nice one.
I think the hash.
There's going to be a
is
quick
good.
debate on this one.
Yeah. Do you think pause?
Oh, we've already done that. Yeah, we've done that one.
So that one goes out.
That one goes out.
I actually know that one quite well.
Oh, free to me.
Ah, good. Wow, that's one to talk about,
Right,
man.
wish we had longer to talk about. 'cause
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge.
I also have my story.
I think, and it's going to be controversial because they get a lot of stick, but they have a better menu now than they used to.
Yeah.
They've got a Canadian menu that's even like more reasonable.
At least
Cali
they're being
menu.
honest.
Yeah,
You know what I
a lot
mean?
of people
Split
hate
it.
them, but I know it's a tourist place, but they've got a cinema on the top floor. You can
Love that.
order chicken wings, sandwiches,
Right.
milkshakes, slush puppies, everything. I think it's top shop.
What's-
As much as people are going to hate on it, I think it has to be. Like, nobody comes close to having 3 floors.
Yeah.
In terms of service, yes.
Games
Yeah,
tables,
yeah.
drinks, food.
They're too busy, man.
Cinema,
Yeah.
weed.
It's packed all the time.
It's everything there.
We had
you
some
know what I
nice
mean?
Dabadoo event
Yeah,
at the Prix d'Ami, so we had some great times
Yeah,
over
no,
there.
it's so
actually.
big, so roomy. It has
Is it gonna
so
host
Well,
that
comfy
as well?
place.
I had
you
a
know
thing
what I mean?
years ago where I brought them Rolex, and
Yeah.
I brought them on Friday and called me Monday and said, "Yeah, have you got more of that Rolex?" I'm like,
Gone
"No,
already.
sorry, mate, that's not my kind of operation."
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And they,
Yeah,
we,
they
like, we
would
worked it
It
out,
must
and
be
they,
hard to keep that kind of place stocked.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
the hard
fucking
part.
hell,
I
yeah.
mean, that's the quality then gets
Yeah.
affected because they truly want to give the best quality. Look the way
Yeah.
their building is and the
Yeah.
service
Yeah.
and all that. And
Yeah.
if they get it, they're providing it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But you know, they'll probably put in a price bracket as well. But it is, I think, it's top notch.
Top shop.
If you haven't been there, it's a place that's well worth
It is.
visiting.
Yeah.
You know, and they're pretty friendly there with
no,
everyone.
It does get a bad rap, but it's haters. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
they're so busy. I
Please
think that's what they're
hate.
dealing with is messy
Yeah.
stuff all the time, and
Yeah.
that's why
Even
they get a bit of
the-
hate.
It's
Yeah.
very comfy.
Right, I got to wrap it up because I don't want this to die and we lose
Yeah.
everything.
Alright, let's-
yeah.
So we've got big thanks to Dara from Devilharvest,
Cheers.
from Antoine from Puravida
Puravida CBD.
CBD. Sorry you
Nice
didn't
one.
get to talk as
So-
much. That's the
Yeah.
Irish. We
That's
we get
that's
together.
Dara. I love Dara. He's
Yeah.
always
The
been-
Faded Fairy as always, and thanks to myself. Tune in next week and
Like,
I don't know.
subscribe.
Yeah, you can like and subscribe here somewhere. I don't know where it's going to be, and you can watch our last video here. I don't know all this shit.
Keep
But,
it green,
Thank you
blazing.
very much, and bye.
Ciao.
Thank you.